Hello, and welcome to the Momentum on Q&A. We're on number 30. My name is Conq, aka Nick. I am the lead of Momentum Mod, development lead as well, here to answer some of your burning questions, show off the game a little bit. I'm joined with some of my lovely team members on Discord, and we'll just get right into it. I mean, you guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves, and we'll get going.
Oh, am I? Oh, no, Braves first.
Oh yeah, haven't been here in a while.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I do programming. That's all I do, and sometimes programming. Sometimes
Queen of Unity nowadays.
Unity. Yeah, no
Unity.
thanks. No thanks.
Better engine, fortunately.
You mean Unreal?
Sorry. That was a. Is that a faux pas? It's just me being dumb. But yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I guess I'm next. Hi, I'm Lumia. I'm a developer on Momentum Mod.
Heck yeah.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm web systems lead on Momentum Mod.
All right. Let's get into our first traditional question. What has everyone been up to? This is my favorite question because a lot of it right now is so internal that we just have to talk about it here. Yeah. We can't really show anything because it's either all NDA code or all like backend code if you want to.
And we're gonna show you that NDA code right now.
Yeah, we're gonna whip it out. No, with the fun part about O10's work is a lot of refactoring of existing systems. So visually, things aren't changing right now because we're changing the underlying systems for zones and the map submission kind of framework, right? So a lot of what we're changing is just not visible. Like we can't. If you want to see the work on that, Tom's been doing a lot of great streams for the website of like map submission. But a lot of the game code that we're working on right now is really just rewriting a bunch of like 2015 era open source momentum code to be more compliant with the new system design that we've come up with. We're still implementing it, so the system and everything's not fully like presentable yet. But we do want to also publish when we're ready and like fully implemented for O10. Sorry, we do want to actually publish this so that you guys can check it out and see how like our zones and everything are going to work. It is important for you guys to know, as well as mappers, importers, to be able to understand what the new zoning system is going to be able to do, right? So that's super important. But Rio's been doing a lot of great work under the hood for a lot of this, and pretty much my role for like a lot of this work is to review and just make sure we're following or spec out and review things, just making sure that we're all kind of following the same idea for how we want to implement it. Because otherwise it'd be complete chaos and like a bunch of systems wouldn't work if we don't have a lot of unity around a lot of these systems. So there's still quite a bit of work left, but we're making great progress in the sense of we have what we want to rewrite pretty much like scoped out. We can't give a time estimate, but we have the level of effort that we need for all of it, and it can be broken up into multiple chunks that multiple developers can swarm. So again, it's really, really upsetting to come to this without something really cool to visually show off or like, talk in depth about, because it's just a lot of like rewriting, rebuilding a lot of the foundation of Momentum's like zoning and map submission system. Replays are up next, but that's a smaller scope because it's just replays, and with zoning,
replays are fucking easy as shit.
Right. Yeah, with like zoning and everything, it's touching every game mode, every map that could possibly go into the game. So we have to factor in a lot of things, like how certain modes start their timer, for example, and things like that. So for the most part, a lot of it is yet to be worked on. A lot of the visual stuff, a lot of like the zoning UI, right, and the front end for map submission, that's still being worked on as well.
Back end is pretty good, but
yeah, do you want to talk
there
about...
then? Yeah. So with a lot of stuff at the moment is basically, I mean, Rio has been doing a ton of the core zoning work, and to be honest, me and Rio have been a bit of a power couple. I mean, Rio's been great. I'm trying to keep up with him. Rio's been doing a shitload of work. Also, Rio has work on Horizon, so a ton of experience, and it's also great because a lot of our kind of DB optimizations and stuff that we're sort of not necessarily making now, but we know that we're going to have to do in the future. We have some very, very slow database stuff currently that we know that we're going to have to speed up in the future. And it's very helpful to have like a clear picture of how we're going to do that. A lot of that's not just from Horizon. Like a lot of that's like much further scoped out, given like Momentum's thing, and we're thinking like, okay, are we going to genuinely store like 1,000,000 runs in Redis? Like, do we want to pay that much for memory costs? And it's like, do we persistence? And it's like a whole thing. Me and Rio spent a bunch of time talking about that. Nick's been involved with some of that, but a lot of it, to be honest, has been me and Rio have been in love, essentially. We're deeply, deeply in love. And no.
Very aligned with work right now.
Yeah. No, exactly. So Rio's been doing a lot of the core zoning stuff. I've been web lead, so we've been like very much. Oh god. And yeah, we get so. Honestly, a lot of the last week or so, one of the hardest things we have to be is basically hacking off stuff for other devs to do. Because if you think of Rio's tackling a lot of stuff when it comes to both timer, zoning, a lot of core game code that's kind of interlinked partly by some horrible C++ globals and just stupid stuff. And also it's just genuinely hard to communicate between those systems. And globals are actually a reasonable way of doing it, but whatever. So doing that and then handling how we're doing that on the back end, but also the fact that the back end is changing. We're doing in the future we're going to do different stuff in DB. Some stuff's going to be Redis. We're going to be using WebSockets for some stuff probably, and it's this kind of complex sort of thing of like trying to juggle around quite a lot of stuff. So O10, we're getting a lot of progress on. A lot of the main DB data structure changes are, or data structures that affect both database and game code. Those are making really good progress. We've done a lot of that in the last week or so.
Yeah.
A great deal of O10 has just been specking stuff. It's just been design. It's been trying to figure out how the fuck you do like fucking. Sorry, I'm swearing like a sailor, but like rocket jump and sticky jump, like courses and surf and Bhop zones and stuff, and it's like it just gets really complicated, and it's a real nightmare to try to figure out. We've had a decent spec for the last, I guess, about 3 months, but trying to implement all of that, and then we get to like some sort of certain niche cases, and then we have to go back and be like, okay, can we store this better? Because like every time we're thinking about different data structures, we're thinking about how we store it, how we transfer it efficiently, and it just becomes a super complex thing. So, I mean, I could go on about this all day. I'm sorry if I'm rambling a bit. We're getting a lot done.
Yes.
O10 is ultimately easily. This is really Nick to say, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it. O10 is by far the biggest update we do until O10.0. Probably bigger than 1.0. 1.0. 10.0. 10.0 is going to be a big boy.
Until
yeah. So 1. Far bigger than 1.0. Oh, sorry, bigger than before 1.0, and honestly, probably bigger than 1.0 because AC is like something that we're constantly thinking about anyway, and we actually have some like quite a lot in place already. So I mean, for us, like getting our web infra in a sane place is something that like. What we're doing at the moment is we're not cutting corners, making stuff easier so we can get O10 out as soon as we can, because we know that it's stuff that we're going to have to do in the future. So some stuff like when it comes to stage times, for instance, we might not have UI for stage times by O10.0, but we'll probably have essentially all the backend code in there already because it makes sense for us to design the backend code in that way. We're actually probably going to refactor that backend code again to use WebSockets as opposed to HTTP, but like it's still like the design decisions are being made in a very like long-term way, right? So it's O10 might take longer, but it's because we're avoiding stuff that's going to be annoying for us in the future because it's stuff we just have to rewrite for no reason.
Right.
So that stuff.
future updates.
Yeah,
with
so so stuff like
it's a big
stage
one.
times. Stage times in like if you're looking at FAQ in Discord or whatever, I think are put for like 012 or whatever. Like
Yeah,
the
it's
majority of stage
loosely.
times will be done by 010
Yeah.
because the way we're designing these systems are just intrinsically supporting stage times because we know that they're a fundamentally important thing for us.
Same with
And so
bonuses and stuff too.
good,
Everything's basically going to be
exactly
supported
the whole
with
track
010.
system and multi game mode stuff. So the whole and map submission takes this all into account, right? So like when it comes to map submission, like anyone reviewing a map, like in I don't know Rocket Jump or whatever, or a good example is say Sticky Jump, right? You could a Sticky Jump mapper can submit a Sticky Jump map, demo map, whatever, and different people can review the map and say this works well or badly in Rocket Jump. And that informs the ultimate like arbiter, which is a moderator who will ideally be someone who's like familiar with that game mode. Like, do you make like the rocket jump track, the rocket jump track ranked, right? Or is it an unranked leaderboard? So like, we have this intrinsic system of like the leaderboards are either ranked or unranked, and if you just don't have a leaderboard, it's just not supported in that game mode.
Right.
And that way we're allowed to like, deal with like, sticky jump maps that just don't have good jump tracks or rocket jump track types. Like, and even in cases like some people might like is like a CPM defrag map that has a terrible Riki free route. Maybe that route isn't ranked, right? And we get flexibility there. So the whole design system is to support that flexibility, but also be able to
make competitive.
We can
make the competitive level not so spread out that it's
exactly. But also we can re-rank stuff in the future, and it gives us flexibility. But also like the person doing the final review of the map, choosing like what map gets ranked or unranked, which in our system is the moderator role. But essentially that means a map like authorizer is like very high up in the community, so we'll have like a community sort of circle of people that can give opinions there, and we have this map reviewer role as well who can give opinions that like their reviews have to be resolved in the whole system. It's super complicated, but like I know I'm going on a bit. We don't have that many questions. I can go on a bit.
Well, like we'll have this all like laid out and like
we will have it laid out, but I just want to say that like it's as a system, it's really designed to be able to support like momentum mod maps that like we want right now to be able to handle the case of like a defrag map that's great in AHOP, which is really common, right? And that might even be ranked. Like a good defrag map that's genuinely fun to play in AHOP, we just make ranked, and you can get rank points just for playing that map in AHOP.
Right.
So we want to allow a ton of flexibility. We want to track a ton of statistics because we want to let anyone reviewing the map say like how good this track is on whatever game mode. Is not game mode specific. You can give different ratings for different game modes.
Yeah.
And the worry is it gets overly complex, and that's going to be a UI UX problem that we'll definitely get to, but I think we can make pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
But it gives us so much freedom because you allow the whole system of, sticky jump maps that are like have good wall pogo routes or whatever. So maybe those get ranked or whatever. But you don't make every single fucking demo map like player like ranked in Soldier. And so if you want to get like a good soldier or rocket jump map, rocket jump rank, in rocket jump, you don't have to just wall pogo for your entire fucking life. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, I'm rambling, but like that's the system that we're working towards. Yeah.
And that's just even the map submission side. There's also 010 entity related refactors that we're doing.
Yeah.
Rio had a giant refactor.
We've got a board for that as well. I can show both. I'll get the projects out.
And so what we'll be eventually doing, probably this month actually, we will have a 010 upcoming kind of branch where players can opt into testing out the new API, the new zones, the new entities and stuff. And as we start to progress more and more towards 010, right, like that's hopefully what mappers will be using for making their maps and everything. So we get get the entities
that branch will take quite a bit. Just because there's again it's so many cores to tie together just to make it even functional. But conjure.
It'll be
I'll add that conjugate. I'll add yours to the future questions. We'll do it at the end.
At the end, yep. Yeah. So all in all, right, O10O is the team's main focus, right? It's what we're dead set on because we can't really worry about reacting to how CS2 just effectively killed CS:GO's surf community. Sorry about that, guys. I know we could have.
Well,
probably...
we can talk about it a bit more. We get to it, but
yeah,
there's a few questions
do we have a
on it.
question? Okay, cool.
Yeah, we know
We'll
we
get
have
to
some.
but yeah.
No,
So,
I mean our policy in it. We can talk about the policy in
Anyway.
it, like the.
But regardless, like we have dead set laser vision, like laser focus, right, on O10O. That is our top priority for now, right? Like that
Valve
is
stuff doesn't affect when our release cycle.
correct.
It's like we're not going to preemptively release momentum.
Correct.
It's just is never ever ever going to happen.
Right. It is unfortunate timing, I guess. We could have probably scooped up more people than we will when we fully release,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's the same reason why we're still like slowly trickling people into the playtest. So anyway, cool, yeah. And so just everyone's been laser focused on all the things that are going into O10O. So we will have more things to show off. But yeah, for now, yeah, you guys are kind of you have to get the verbal laydown of what's happening, and then once we get some more visual niceties, we'll start showing those off too.
We have some really really good zone visuals as well that we will.
Oh, that's right.
Eventually have to show. We are.
Yeah.
Again, there's it's just this dev cycle thing where like there's so much stuff in
Yeah.
O10 that will probably be quite close to the end of O10
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
But
So it's yeah, we have a lot of good stuff coming. So
that's
just
good.
stay tuned.
Vortex's stuff is going to be really fun to show. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and move on to our first asked question here. Yeah. Oh, who wants to-
Ray, do you want to read or I can?
You can. Yeah.
I can read. MomoGizzl. Is there any chance we get an open beta or early access version of Momentum Mod so we don't need to wait until maps get ported to CS2? Okay, topical.
Yes. Yeah. So that was, that was what I was hinting at. Yeah, it is unfortunate timing, I guess, on our end. I genuinely thought CS2 was not going to be the same app ID, but I guess they ended up doing it. There is a CSGO demo viewer branch that has working community servers. You just have to opt into that in order to play it. So there is technically, there's technically, right, a way to play your CSGO surf maps. However, keep in mind that, you know, using momentum as just a way to play surf until maps get ported to CS2 is exactly the reason why we aren't just giving everyone access, because these kinds of people would just play surf a little bit and then not give us feedback while we're looking for feedback.
But also, they'd expect times to be consistent, and they're not.
That's also true. But anyway, the main point is that the game is in very early access, to where we want just core systems tested and feedback on it. Times aren't permanent, right? We don't have every map. You can play 087, but it doesn't work with CSGO maps, unfortunately. That was pre-engine license to where we even supported it. So that is the downside for that. But yeah, sorry. We can't open it up. That would be effectively a soft release. We don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Countless number of of Q&A streams we've talked about this, where it's just we want to make sure 1.0 is a release that we can all celebrate together, right? And that we have a definitive, like, here everyone can play, everything matters now, right? Like, because right now times don't, right? We're about to wipe for O10O. O10O is going to be on a completely new backend anyway, right? We can't even really port it over. I mean, we could try, but whatever. But like, you know what I mean? We have completely new stuff coming in with O10O, and everything's going to be wiped. And then all the maps resubmitted into the new system to test it and stuff like that. So, yeah. Sorry again that Valve kind of killed it, but make sure that you opt in to the CS:GO viewer branch for CS2 if you'd like to play any Surf or KZ still while you still can. It's not known how long the servers will stay up, the community servers. I'm assuming as long as that branch doesn't get updated, it's fine. I wouldn't really expect it to break. In fact, it's probably a really stable branch.
Don't forget about it.
Um,
Yeah.
they
It's
kind of
Valve,
forgot
they don't
about
care.
TF2's, demo viewer branch as well, right? That's still around. So, yeah. So you have a way to still play your CS:GO Surf maps. If you'd like to get a momentum mod key, we have a couple of ways to do so. You can first of all sign up to our playtest. If you haven't already, you do have to actually enroll into the playtest on our Steam store page, !Steam in Twitch chat if you. I think we have that. I don't know. I actually don't know, but we do have it on our store page. Yes, awesome, cool. Sign up for the playtest, please. That is the most fair way to get into the game. It is confirmed completely random. We talked about this in the last Q&A. It is now confirmed completely random, so we're just funneling basically anyone that's like, hey, I have some hours in CSGO, can I play? We funnel you over to that because that is a perfect opportunity to get access. It's completely random.
And just to reiterate on that, like our policy is, if you're genuinely contributing to the game in any way, you'll get a key.
Correct.
We are really liberal with keys. Like, you'd be surprised how easily I
Yes.
give out keys to people that give a shit about contributing to momentum.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't take me long, and like I do it all the time with like web people.
Yes.
It's just I need people that show genuine enthusiasm. That's what matters. It's not just like if it's really easy to tell if someone just wants a key, right?
That old
like,
URL. Yeah,
oh
it
God.
is. It is very,
No.
very easy.
Momentum forum.momentum.org. Great.
That's we gotta change that to old forums. But anyway.
Oh, Hona.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but we have yeah, there are other ways. So the direct ways to contribute, right? Helping out on the website, helping out with the other repositories. Mappers also get keys. So if you make maps for CS:GO and wanted to test some of your maps or continue your map development, not on a weird branch or something, you can also get a key. You just need proof that you're mapping. Yeah, realistically, right, contributing to the game, we also have localization. We're going to have map porting down the line, where we want people to basically take every single map out there, right, and get it ready for momentum, and that's a key worthy to test out our systems for. So we will have ways to skip the line, so to speak, but it will be more involved than, hey, I have played this game before, can I play now? Because that's what the playtest button is. That is exactly what that sign up for playtest is. And just a reminder, we are currently doing 350 drops a week. It is completely random. We do not see who signs up. All we get is a number box and the two numbers of who's in and who's out, like the number of, or sorry, who doesn't have access yet, right? The two numbers there and a number input box for how many we want to give out. That's all we have. We can only tell Steam the number of people. Steam randomly chooses from the pool those 350. So, and then also reminding you guys that at 010 we are increasing that, right? We are increasing that to 700 a week. And then 011 we're going up again, I think, to what was it? Doubled again, 1,400 a week, I guess. Then anyway, but yeah, like we will be getting through the like backlog.
How many do we have currently? Where's the fucking page?
It's like 25,000 in the backlog, and we currently have 34,000 in game. So it's people have more access than people sign.
25 is exactly it. It's 25.6 essentially, rounding.
Okay.
So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But that
Big
is the best.
BigBertaBoii, I thought
the easiest way to get in.
011X was supposed to be full beta release. No. 1.0 is full beta release. If you go on our Discord, see our FAQ, you see the whole thingy.
And yes, feel free to DM any team member with any proof.
I just want to emphasize with when it comes to like access stuff, like we're deliberately keeping it slow.
Yes.
The game is not out, and slow for us is good. Like we don't get that much feedback anyway, and also it is important to us that we just don't release it to everyone. Sorry, but like the principle is right. Like if you genuinely want to just get momentum out soon as fast as you can, I mean, if you're interested in becoming a programmer, like as a job, which is pretty fucking
Pretty
lucrative,
lucrative.
actually, it's one of the
I
best.
recommend
Like,
it.
I mean, maybe since Silicon Valley Bank crashed or whatever, but like you know,
No, it's still
it's a very
lucrative.
very sane thing to learn,
It's
and just
unrelated.
learning basic programming stuff. We make a lot of effort when it comes to new programmers. I spend a surprising amount of time teaching people like Git stuff. Like it's something I genuinely dedicate quite a lot of time to because I like teaching new programmers and stuff. Like if you actually want to contribute to Momentum, you can.
Yeah.
Like I mean, if you're 30 something and you just have a regular job and whatever, and you just, I mean, if you don't have time, fair. But for a lot of people that just want to like, I don't know. I mean, I first got into programming through fucking Minecraft, right? And like, there's so many people that are in that position, and genuinely, Momentum is a really good avenue to do this stuff because you'll learn stuff that is genuinely useful and will give you code review that we actually make an effort with, and will
Yes.
teach you stuff you don't understand. This is something that I genuinely deeply care about, and I make a lot of effort with, and I think quite a lot of people that have been through like Momentum boot camp.
Right.
Not that I really know what the fuck I'm talking about, but like, I think
Yeah.
quite a lot of people have
No.
learned a decent amount from me. Like, Momentum is a genuinely really good way of learning a very useful skill in the modern world.
That's how I did it.
Ozzy, we don't
Right.
want your
Right, like,
contribution.
you know-
Stay away from our code.
Oski, we have some bad news.
Yeah, Oski is too smart. Bray, however, has learned so much about Unity through, learning.
Unreal. Unreal. Stop
No.
saying.
Yeah, it's nice.
No,
It's
no,
a
no,
very
but
nice
Bray,
platform to
Bray has a job doing Unreal
Gamemode.
stuff.
Yeah, and it's a
And like,
very nice platform to learn, and it's better than any like school project in my mind because it's
well, we
something
give
that
you
will
serious review.
exist.
We,
Right.
yeah.
So
If you
it
if you
doesn't live
submit
with the
web
class
stuff,
or anything.
if
So.
you submit us web stuff, we will give you genuine review, and I'm gonna. In some
And a
cases,
key.
someone gives me a really fucked up Git branch, and I will just rebase it myself and merge it in,
Yeah.
which I shouldn't do. But like, in some cases we will do that, and that is something where like we are genuinely trying to. I don't know. I'm very happy to hop into voice with you
Yeah.
and to teach you Git, for instance. That is something where if you are a new programmer, like that is a genuinely invaluable thing.
It's
Like that I'm
very nice.
offering there. Like
And our
having
Git
someone that
workflow is
knows
very
Git
standard.
really well.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of
having
companies
someone
use
that like
the workflows
knows
we
Git
use.
as a professional level
Yeah.
that will just teach you that shit. We will do that. Like that is kind of the. I mean, honestly, most of the code I get submitted for web stuff is not super useful. A lot of it I could do myself in my own time. But at the same time, I want to get people that are long-time contributors that are really good. Like Gordy, who's an Oski. Sorry, not Oski. Oski's never done any web stuff for me. Oski's a fantastic contributor to Strata stuff. I was just like Gordy, Noki, and an Osplo. Sorry, Osplo, not Oski. People that have been. Both of them really know what they're talking about anyway, but like, yeah.
All contributions are useful. I wanted to clarify that. It is very useful. It's just being able to have people that can take on smaller bits of work that would just
useful,
take
but
Tom or someone else just time to do is extremely useful. So it's amazing way to just kind of like learn a new language if you're interested in TypeScript. Our entire
not just
backend is
new
pretty much
languages, but just how to do good code contributions.
And good code contributions for any
It's
like
it's how to function as an actual programmer, which is something that you will a lot of the
Software
time not
engineering,
learn in programming school. We will give you serious code review where we're being fairly friendly, but we're still giving you serious code review. And when we're making you fix up your poor commits or whatever, like it's something that we.
So yeah, it's contributing to the game is a very good way to get a key because we are very very lenient towards it, very understanding that people come from different backgrounds and everything. We really want people to stick around with contributions. Hopefully, like getting one kind of starts maybe a ball right rolling to do more and more, helping out more and more, because the more help we have, the faster we get done. Right? Like it's not a secret or anything like that. We're not trying to trick you or anything. It's just a genuine trade of effort for being able to enjoy the fruits of your effort, right?
But if someone's made an effort to like actually do a genuinely good contribution that is helpful to us and not just the bare minimum, I'll give them a key. Like I'm pretty liberal with them.
Yeah.
You get my comments on your momentum keys Google Doc, Nick.
Oh yeah, I get the emails for those all the time. So it's awesome to see.
I submit by far the most, and that's because I review by far the most, and I
But yeah. So
Olski, you have a key. Shut up.
Any other ways you can get keys? If you're a mapper, if you make maps, but yeah, translation, map porting down the line. Just stay tuned. Just join our Discord and hang out. We'll have an announcement with O10O to kind of explain how the map porting stuff's going to go.
Sorry,
and
just once. I just need to Astra CSS like says I've been wanting to learn how to code, especially as of late. It's something I've always been interested in. That's the kind of thing. I'm not gonna teach you like the very basics of baby code stuff, right? But if you go away and do some like Python boot camps or whatever, or ideally TypeScript stuff, because that's mostly what we use.
Yeah.
But like, spend some time on that, and then come to something like Momentum and show like genuine interest in working on stuff, and then you'll get really good code reviews from us. And if you do that, you will learn way fucking faster than like just like random like bootcamp tutorials and stuff. Though I do think exorcism.com is really good, or .org is very good, but like ultimately you'll get actual code reviews from us because we can't we're reviewing stuff that is actually coming into our code base. So that is genuinely how I would like really enthusiastically encourage like new programmers to get involved with stuff. It's something like Momentum. Learn the basics, fuck off for a bit, do that stuff, and then come back to us, and then we'll give you a really good code review.
And then if you're serious about joining the team, that's a really good way to do it too. And just being part of the team that way too.
You can learn a shitload.
Yeah.
I have a fucking philosophy degree, and I'm quite a good programmer now, and like.
Yeah, you kind of went from nothing to
From nothing.
From
I was
nothing.
nothing. I was just doing
nothing,
substance designer, and
it's all good. Yeah.
No, I meant from like no like knowledge and.
I have a shockingly...
or very rudimentary knowledge to like.
I have a disgustingly
like
advanced knowledge in
So
JavaScript. For
stuff like that.
For someone that doesn't have a humanities degree, my knowledge of JavaScript is disgusting. I mean, it's not just the event loop; it's the
anyway. But returning back to MomoGizzl, I think is his question here. There are ways to get momentum other than just like demanding we open it up. So definitely check out those options. Sorry again about CS:GO nuking from underneath you, but there are ways to still play it and ways to get momentum otherwise. So cool. Okay, we'll move on to the next question here by Uberosh.
Sorry, am I reading? Uberosh says, we don't have to kill or explode console commands because house points don't exist. Can we have a command like ragdollme?
So this is a pretty fun one. The idea of kind of hitting a wall and ragdolling is really funny. We could, it wouldn't really affect anything. Like once you do that, you're effectively right, like you're teleporting back or whatever. But having having some physics sim on your ragdoll, or like converting your player model into a ragdoll would be pretty funny.
The main thing is getting nowhere near anti-cheat.
Ragdoll, like once you do this command, it would basically be akin to like teleporting back or restarting your run or something. But yeah, absolutely, we could look into kind of like networking that too, so you can have just like a bunch of people just like sliding down like a ramp or something. I don't know.
And it absolutely has to make really loud Gmod squishing noises.
Yeah, or just like the like slant like metal boxes like violently like rubbing. Yeah.
I do just feel that ragdolls that are a little bit old hat at this point.
You Yeah, create hairballs. I need to add back.
Yo,
It's
that's
the best
right.
streamer incentive. It's the best channel points thing ever.
Add back, create airball. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, yeah, we have some fun stuff like that we could do. This could actually turn into an issue if you'd like to open one on our GitHub. But this is a really good idea, just having more kind of fun ways, because we're going to explore, right? Like being in a lobby, we really want you to be able to express yourself. Right? Or like ragdolling after you get a world record or something could be a new fad or something, right? So yeah, absolutely. Like we want to have things like emotes and stuff too, right? In game, kind of like Portal 2 did. So yeah, realistically, something like this would fit really well. It's not.
I just want to say,
Yeah.
post 1.0 or I will fucking
Yeah.
kill someone.
Yeah, it's not. Things like this won't really be focused on for a while. These are usually smaller things that like a developer could do as a pet project, like in their free time on a weekend or something.
Precisely.
But it is not prioritized at all. So things like these
Yeah.
are likely going to be near 1.0, post 1.0 sort of things. But absolutely,
Post.
we could do something like this. Again, I say near mainly because if developer interest gets around and we just have a couple devs that don't have too much to do, they could try to look into something like this. SL probably.
If we don't have devs that don't
weekend.
have too much to do, okay, yeah, SL can do clever
Right.
stuff.
But
I still will be lurking behind them, being like,
yeah, if there are
Come
important
on.
things that aren't being picked up or anything, right, like that would be a problem. But but realistically, right, like this won't be.
there's always stuff that's not being picked up. Come on.
So
We'll add it at the same time we had Conq Dizzy.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actual dizzy back for God. All right. Yeah, thank you for this question. Yeah, absolutely. Stuff like this is very like entertaining, kind of more like as like one-off kind of funny things to see. Like yeah, like ragdolling right after blowing up your sticky bombs or something, seeing how far you go, like kind of kitten cannon or something, right? Like old Flash game style. But like yeah, we'll see what kind of stuff like this could lead to. So yeah, thank you for this question. We'll move on to the next one here.
Really good question when I threatened to kill the person that implements it. Okay, sorry. Redz, currently in the playtest, there are some extra/unnecessary strafe parts and numbers that look like clutter. Will the default HUD look like that for each game mode? Can I answer this?
Yes.
Because I can talk about the two aspects of this.
Yes.
For one, no, and also no.
All right, next one.
Okay, so yes, so
I think they're asking what will the default HUD look like for
yes,
each game
okay,
mode.
so default HUD for each game mode will hopefully be pretty minimal.
Yes.
When it comes to something like defrag and CGAS, that's really interesting because CGAS is very helpful to new players. And do we just show that and learn, or do we show it to players by default? It's hard to say. Also, defrag is hard to fit into the HUD to customize, which I'm going to talk about. But
right.
okay, I'm going to start with the question of clutter. Right, I think it's the best. HUD stuff right now is a mess, and it's very much because we are a volunteer project and we can just sort of add stuff as we want. And I think Peenscreeker at one point shouldn't reveal Peenscreeker's real name. At one point added added what was it called? The whole strafe HUD thing to surf that was on Bhop before, but it was on Bhop and then added to surf. And it was like just getting in the way of surfers and stuff. Someone pinged me. Is it Ping being like no mind. Thought it was like a death threat for Ping. Anyway. So like we absolutely don't want that. Like most surfers don't want this like weird strafe sync bar. Like it's not useful. It's really only useful for like timing, like figuring out like the perfect sync from like leaving the start zone of a map, which is pretty obscure. I have played surf for years. I actually don't know how to do it very well. So that will be optional.
Yeah. Behind
a lot of settings we want to be game mode specific anyway. I was talking about this with Rio a few weeks ago. How we do it exactly, it's actually interesting. I think CS2 has a KV3 based config system that I was curious to see. Ours is probably going to be pretty similar to that. We have access to KV3. KV3 is a key value format. KV1 is a bit shite. You can't do like outermost arrays. everything has to have like a topmost key, and it's just a bit ugly.
Yeah.
KV3 fucking sucks. And so probably we'll have something quite similar to CS2, though, you know, we don't have access to the codebase. And so what we want is a game mode specific config system that's like easy for users to use. That's actually not that hard for us to do. It's mainly a UI thing. We need to allow settings to have some drop down or whatever that changes like the game mode or stuff you're sending stuff in. Honestly, not that bad. We need to just get on and do it. It's just been something that's been something that I've put as a very high priority thing for me for a while because I think it's a really, really essential feature, but I'm not sure when we'll get it quite in by.
Probably 11. You could probably jump over to that after.
Yeah, no, I'd love to get over to UI more, but though I probably will spend about a month like reworking half our endpoints to use fucking WebSockets. But yeah, we can make that work. And Ria is also interested in it. We were talking about it a bit the other night. But the other thing when it comes to HUD is HUD is going to be draggable. You're going to be able to move every fucking thing on the HUD around at some point. I was streaming this on this channel a few weeks ago. It's kind of my pet project that I don't let myself work on because it's too much fun and it sort of detracts from core momentum stuff, and I'm the lead momentum backend dev, so I need to work on that instead. But my baby project is making the entirety of the momentum HUD like draggable and resizable, and I've gotten about halfway through doing that, and it's really, really, really fun. And if you've seen screenshots of it, I think you showed it on stream about a year ago, Nick, when I was visiting some friends. I was on my laptop. I couldn't show it myself.
Yeah.
But I was like, you were showing it off. I did a bit of work in that in the last month, just because I wanted a fun thing to work on, because I finished some like big momentum backend stuff and I wanted a break. But it will happen. Basically, all of Momentum's HUD will be like, you can move everything around and it'll be fantastic.
Yep. Per game
So,
mode, and like we'll have game mode overrides for that too if you want to have, you know, UPS.
Well, yeah, showing different stuff per game mode is going to be interesting. We have to like, we have a should draw function in every single HUD component. We're going to have to override that in every case for like this. That'll be fun. That's a bunch of C++ refactoring. Though the majority of it, which is really nice, is just in JavaScript, which means that
TypeScript.
Other people, if they want to, TypeScript is in when you approve my merge request. I think it's in now.
It's in. Yeah.
Just about.
Oh, maybe not the Pano one. I'll look at the Pano. Yeah.
The Pano one. Yeah. No.
But
no. You read it the other night, but no, that should be in. That should be done by now.
Nice.
And so a lot of our HUD stuff will be genuinely. You can launch the game. I don't know how we're going to show it for now. It's quite convenient to do it whilst in the chat menu, because you can just press enter or T or whatever you use with your chat button and just see the whole chat HUD and then just drag stuff around. It's quite convenient there. We might move that to another bind. I don't love that. I kind of like having it in chat. But essentially, the entire Momentum HUD, you can move everything around and resize everything. And ideally, as my like long-term goal, is for stuff like the really complicated stuff like CGAS settings or whatever, configuring that will be in that HUD menu and just click on like the CGAS thing and it shows you all of those like insane settings. But if you're not playing defrag, you never see those. That would be really nice. So we'll get there, but it would take me like a week to finish. It's not even that hard, but it's like I need to do fucking HTTP.
Right. It's more of a matter of priority, right? Yeah. That's how it is. But that's what I mean. It's like as we get freed up by other bigger things that are happening for O10, devs will start to kind of do the things that they can with picking up like HUD customization, things like that. Things that we will eventually have, but just needs, prioritized items to be done first, and then we'll get over to it. So just kind of re-explaining the answer there. They will be minimal. Ideally, it's the core information you need to do the game mode, with everything else that's currently probably default on right now, optional, turning on, and then on top of that, being able to completely customize how it looks with where elements are and stuff like that. So We have a lot of plans for how the HUDs will look, but ideally, right, for the majority of players, minimal as possible. We'll even make things like the timer. I know this was on our Steam forums, I think. We'll even make things like the timer hideable if you just don't really care about like seeing a timer, right? We can hide the timer for you. Like it's fine. So things like that, where it's like if you want a really more casual completionist kind of HUD, you can do that too. So yeah, we have a lot of work to do, but it's not currently prioritized. So sorry, it looks a little jank right now, but it will get better over time. Cool. All right, looks like you've been tagged, Bray. You got to read this next question. Was there any input for this one though before we move on?
I think for defrag, we probably will have like prime site enabled by default, maybe
Yeah.
not CGAS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
defrag
clearer.
might be a little less minimal just because there's a lot of it that's useful that you need to get used to early because you're going to end up using it anyway. But
Right. Yeah, defrag's an interesting case just because of how much the UI helps and teaches you about the mode. So yeah, I could see that probably being a very specific case, but the learn section will ideally go over that. So yeah, cool. Okay, well, thank you, Redz, for that, or Redzy. We'll move on to the next.
Yeah. Is this the ARC one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. With Valve replacing CSGO CS2, is there a plan if Valve makes CSGO assets legally unobtainable?
All right.
this
Yeah.
was asked before CS2 came out and they had the demo viewer branch. So.
Yes, that's a very good point. So this was asked before the CS:GO demo viewer branch was available.
Yeah.
We're not really thinking that branch is going to go away. Realistically, right, the way that Steam works, you submit a build and then you set which branch it's on. By default, you only have one. It's the default like public branch, but they basically just took the build of CS:GO, the last one, and set it to that branch. And then the next build was like everything removed in CS2. So like, as long as Steam doesn't ever get rid of builds in the past, then yeah, you'll be set. You can just go to the CS:GO demo viewer branch. Now, obviously, right, we can't rely on that forever. It would be good to ask Valve. Our plan right now is once we hit 0.10 and get that kind of out and the buzz around that going, we were going to reach out and just ask if we could just ship it with the game. That'd simplify a lot of things for a lot of players. But realistically, if they say no, all you would have to do is go to that branch and yoink the VPKs from it. We could even write a script that could do that for you or something. You know, like we could do something like that. Again, to where it would use, you know, your Steam account and like pulling it out of that game that you technically have because it's free to play. But yeah, so it would just be a nicety if we could include it with the game. So that's still the plan. We're still going to reach out, but with that CS:GO demo viewer, we're also backing up the assets as well. So like we'll have a backup of the CS:GO assets just in case. But we'll see what we can legally do with them down the line. Because right now it's just not super duper important for us to get assets. Right, we still have the material replacement system, things like that can kind of help, even if CS:GO is not mounted. But yeah, realistically, we do want to ask, but just not right now. It's this, like, they're probably just going to say, "Hey, yeah, just tell your players to go on that branch or something," which sucks. But like, I mean, we'll see what they genuinely say once we're like past 0.10 with like, "Hey, like, you know." Seeing if that branch is still there or not, right? If the branch disappears, we will absolutely reach out like as soon as possible. But right now, with that branch being there, it just kind of makes it go on that branch and just yoink the assets for now. Copy them somewhere, right? Keep them safe, and then we'll see what we can legally do. Will Valve get mad if you yoink VPKs? If we yoinked them and shipped them with our game without asking them, yes, that is copyright infringement. We don't want to.
Not necessarily, but we're not going to risk it, right? That's the thing. It's like
we're not going to risk.
We keep on Valve's good side forever.
Exactly.
Like,
And we want to do the
And
things the right way with them.
They are a fucking pain in the ass when it comes to contacting them. I was sorry,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have, but they are. I mean, like
It's notoriously difficult too, but we do have contacts within Valve that we can reach out to at least, and that's better than shotgunning an email to random people again, like some CS:GO dev or something. So
not that much better, but okay.
But we still have an avenue for asking about it. So we will, but it's just not a high priority right now because you can still get the assets. People are probably still going to be on that anyway, right? Like unless you really like competitive CS, then yeah, you got to keep switching branches, which sucks. Or just make, I guess, a copy of the folder. I don't know. There's probably ways to get around it to like where you can, I don't know, boot the game.
I just cannot wait to be working on a game that doesn't have any involvement with Valve.
We'll
That'd be so
see
good. That'd be so great.
But
Momentum Mod 2 we're gonna do
on
on
Unity. No,
Godot.
Oh no.
Unity. Anyway, so yeah, so we'll see, but hopefully that answers that. Right now, yeah, you got to go on the branch, which they have for now. But we'll see.
If you switch branches, does it like get rid of the files or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah, so like you
Oh my
in
God,
in order to like actually play CS:GO Surf, you would have to like you couldn't really play CS2 and CS:GO Surf at the same time because they would just completely switch the entire folder.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm wondering is like, can you have just download the demo viewer branch and have the assets there for momentum, and then switch back to the CS2 branch? Because like we need is for the assets to just exist there.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to play CS:GO servers, obviously you need to switch. But
we could even make it so that you could just use the game info, right? TXT to just point to the VPK. Because right, like we have our game mounts.
Oh, Game Chaos is in chat. Game Chaos knows.
Yeah, and so you can play CS:GO and CS2 at the same time with the CS:GO demo viewer branch. That's cool. Yeah, it makes sense.
I just want to emphasize, like from our point of view, for people watching, that like we don't
different folders. Okay, yeah.
It's not something that we spend that much time thinking about. It's kind of annoying, but it's sort of tangential to our project, right? Like we're not, Momentum as a project is aiming to be something that avoids this kind of dog shit. We're inevitably going to get into issues with CSS textures and TF2 stuff and stuff in the future. There's not really an easy way around that, though. It would be amazing if we did have texture packs that just completely replace stuff. Would love that. But AI stuff is a mess, and don't do that. I don't know, like getting a branch of source. A lot of Strata, we're pretty far gone from the rest of Source 1. Right? We're sort of going off in our own direction to some extent. We're doing a lot of stuff differently. A lot of stuff is really improved. Assets, like, we just don't... We're never going to have a perfect example to, like, CSS assets. CSGO, maybe, because they are just free to play.
Yeah.
Maybe Valve give us them. But ultimately, like, CSS is still the main thing.
Right.
Like, CSS assets are what most, like, source surf maps use, right?
Yep.
Which are the main surf maps.
And I mean, over time that'll improve because we can have things like art packs and stuff. As
well, maybe, yeah. And I'd love to get the the Polyhaven project I was doing,
assets, right? Because they should really be legacy.
But they won't. They'll still use them. I mean,
we'll see.
I mean, it's going to be hard to get anything completely away from it, and ultimately, I don't see a solution besides us having a genuine just replacement pack. If anyone's interested in working on that, any texture designers that want to just waste a few months of their life, get in touch. But why would you? I mean, it's not a... I messed about with it for a bit. I was interested in... I was doing a lot of texture design stuff about 3 years ago. Substance design, procedural texturing stuff is a really interesting area. But, I mean, for replicating texture packs is fucking boring. Like, we don't have a good solution in that area. Like,
it's something we'll ask Valve about, I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like we'll ask about it in the same breath as like
Yeah, exactly.
CS:GO,
The
CSS,
best thing
like
we can
what's
do,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah,
So we just
is to
really
be
just
like,
need to ask them.
how much money do you really need from like random people buying CSS? Like we are trying
It
to make
does
a
get
game
past
that is,
our limited account check thing. So if they do buy CSS,
yeah, but I mean, we don't want to make people buy CSS. I mean, it's just laughing money at
ideally,
Rao
in
when
a
they ever
perfect
know.
world, right? No,
No, I could go on my fucking rant about how like utterly indecent it is that Valve charge 30%. I mean,
it's a
as much
fun
as we're in there,
conversation.
um,
But yeah, so hopefully that answers that. For now, you got to opt into the branch. We'll see what happens if things change down the line. We
uh,
do want to email Valve about potentially shipping CS:GO assets to make it even easier for our players, but we'll see what they say. So, cool. Thank you, Ark, for this question. We'll go ahead and move on to the next one.
sorry.
Yeah, Tom or
Yeah.
Brandon.
Well, what kinds of features can we expect from dedicated lobbies slash servers to set them apart from regular player hosted lobbies?
Cool. So the core feature about dedicated, what makes it dedicated, is it is a separate process. It's not launched from within the game. It is a separate executable that you can throw on a VPS or whatever, right? Have it be basically permanent as long as it's up, right? As long as you have it up. So it is, that's what makes it dedicated, right? It is a dedicated like area for multiplayer. On top of that, we can start to control things like password, right? Password protecting lobbies, things like that. Having a little more control over who can get into your lobbies, making clan specific lobbies, things like that. There's a lot of kind of control related things that right now player hosted in-game peer-to-peer lobbies are really nice, but like the dedicated on a single box is a single, it's not peer-to-peer, by the way, it'll be a single node server, right, that you send everything to, and then it, you know, it'll network it back out. So it'll be more traditional in the sense of like, you know, you get an update from one server as opposed to potentially hundreds of players, right, at the same time. So that will be the balance there of like, yeah, if you're going to regularly have more people on there, it might be worth it to throw it on kind of like this beefy server that can handle hundreds of players updating it per second. Versus a peer-to-peer lobby, right? So that's kind of the distinction there, right? Like dedicated, like separate standalone server slash lobby things are really just like more advanced, like more niche usage of like, but has more control. So like we could also do things like map rotations where the server has an official map that it's on that like when you join it you would have to effectively be on that map, but I mean you could probably we introduce more settings to where it's like, oh, like, you know, you don't have to if you're a certain role or anything like that in the server. Like we'll have a lot of hooks into the server that like you can kind of write maybe some scripting like on top of to be able to control things like, you know, access or anything like that. So it's
Well,
really
that's a
just
big
going to
thing. Are we
be
going to have some of those hooks be natively supported, or
so where they're like in the dedicated server like executable, yeah, to where it's like kind
no?
of like in the actual executable itself. And then like we could do like webhooks and stuff, but ideally, right, like all of the run submission and all things like that go to our website to validate and things like that. But you know we would still have hooks right into these servers and lobbies to be able to have server or lobby like leaderboards as well, right? So you can just see who's the best player in that server. So
Yeah.
it's realistically approaching a lot of the source dedicated server stuff minus the synchronization still. So it's still the zero ping gameplay, but there's a lot of things on top that like get customized per community experience that you would go into here. And then player hosted lobbies are realistically just kind of like a, I just want to play with some other people. I don't care who they are, right? Like I just want to play with my friends. I just want to play with random people online, right? That's what the player hosted roaming lobbies. That's what the player hosted like, you know, private or whatever the friends only lobbies are. That's where that kind of, you know, like that will probably be the majority of players, right? needs for multiplayer, but then the dedicated lobby side kind of catering more to like the communities out there, clans, things like that, where or even like teaching, right? Like I know there's a lot of like Rocket Jump, Rocket Jump or Jump Academy, right? Like things like that where there's servers dedicated to teaching you how to play the mode or do a specific map. They even have a specific map for it. It's really cool. Things like that we would really want to foster, to have like it's a dedicated multiplayer area that you can go into, and it's like they have their own rules and stuff like that for like being able to, communicate with them, on top of probably our community guidelines and stuff. So it's realistically that separation of like casual multiplayer, casual like temporary multiplayer kind of thing, or just popping in with some random people with the roaming lobbies, player hosted lobbies. That's that area. The dedicated is like, very specifically for community, for getting that source dedicated server feel, and then any kind of features on top of that, because we really want to work with server owners to have effectively the same experience, if not better, for their community, right? Like you don't have to host 5 different like nodes to have one US location, where our player count, expected player count, supports probably up to a couple hundred, as opposed to just 60, right, or something. So like it's really nice. Like I'm really looking forward to like supporting these servers. Again, we don't want to kill any communities, any servers like that. We really are expecting them to hopefully coexist, maybe even fully come over. It's up to them, right? Like, but it's really cool, because that's kind of how our multiplayer and community layer works. And on top of all this is all going to be optional. You don't ever have to join a dedicated server. You don't have to join a player hosted lobby. You can play the game by yourself, do the maps by yourself if you want to. Perfect for streamers, right? Like that just want to focus on playing or something like that. So it's really awesome that it's all optional. Like it's all, you get to kind of choose what you want to do, and it's really powerful in that regard.
I do think with a lot of the dedicated server stuff, we're probably underselling it a bit, but it's probably right that we undersell it. Like the dedicated servers are going to want more control than we're currently advertising for them, right? Like we can do valid, like the main issue for dedicated servers is that we are not making our validation and anti-cheat system public. And if they want to hook into that, they can, but like ultimately, like if KSF or whatever wants to move over to Momentum, like they're probably not going to want to just like, I don't know, if they want their own like server system, they probably want more control than we're currently giving them with the dedicated server system. I don't know. I think a lot of dedicated server stuff probably, sorry if I'm stepping on a tail a bit, but like I think a lot of dedicated server stuff is inevitably going to be like established after release, as we, like.
I think that like if you are wanting to like set up a community within Momentum Mod, that doesn't necessarily keep track of its own times, we can definitely support that. But I mean, if you want to have like your own sort of competitive community within Momentum that has its own leaderboards and stuff, I don't know if we're really going to be able to do a whole.
We don't have any inherent support for that or plan to. We could, but it's not in our. Well, I mean,
to where they're hooking into our website and tracking their own players.
If they're just using certain services for AC, then maybe. But I mean,
it wouldn't be certain AC. Like you would submit to our like server, and we'll probably have some other endpoint saying, "Hey, this like I'm in this server" or something, right? Like or something where it's like you would hook into.
Is someone that
has
working on our web systems and also familiar with like how people that run different server networks want to behave. Like I don't think they would want to be like, yeah, we just want to hook into your backend and just do stuff on top of that and like let you have control over everything, or like it would be very hard to split our backend from other server stuff. Is essentially what I'm saying. So I think the way that
think in of the future, as like a permanent filter on runs being submitted. The leaderboards for a specific server would be permanently filtered to, right, to the players that are in that server. and things like that. You could have
Yeah,
comparisons
maybe there's a way of
and
doing that, though it sounds awkward for validation, but maybe.
right.
But if
But
if we were talking some like a group that wanted to have their own like completely different ranking system or
Right.
whatever, like we're not going to support that in any way.
The way we
Certainly
should
not in
support
this.
that would be, I mean, our backend is open source, and if people do want to make genuine forks of it and do stuff with it, it would be nice to support that in a way, potentially. I mean, we do genuinely want to, like, our point is that, like, if people want to contribute to Momentum, they should contribute to the core Momentum stuff. I mean, we are a non-profit open source project. If you want to make Momentum better, contribute to Momentum, don't make some weird fork of it, right? That being said, 10 years from now, you likely get weird forks of stuff. That's just how open source works. And I mean, I'd like the idea that there'd be some way of doing that, but ultimately, obviously RSC stuff is going to be completely closed source because that's how you do anti-cheat. Like, there's no way of doing it otherwise. You can't have a completely open source anti-cheat. It's too easy to circumvent. I don't know. We're not making a ton of effort in Momentum's client currently. The game client to like handle separate backends. Maybe we could do that more in the future, and maybe we do give more openness to like separate APIs that can like. But ultimately, like, I mean, all of our backend code calls come from. I mean, it comes from Engine right now. It's just how our setup works. Like the way to do genuinely like really dedicated servers that have like a full-on like source mod style system, like we don't support that, and that's not in our current plans. I think that's worth saying. I think there's maybe a case to be made for doing that more in the future, but like, I mean, the main point of Momentum is still to be. Sorry, so I'm kind of stepping on this down, Nick, but I'm also like emphasizing your point in the same way. Like, Momentum as a game is still trying to be a free project where we're, sending, like, the way our game interacts with our backend is pretty obvious if you look at our backend code, which is open source, right? If people want to do a completely separate leaderboard system and completely separate anti-cheat, they potentially could with our current game code, that it would be finicky and maybe a bit hacky, but maybe they could. Like, our emphasis right now is on working with our current backend because we are a non-profit project and we're just trying to make a game that's good for people. And if people want to help with that, come in and get involved with that. I imagine for some like dedicated server owners from networks like KSF or Horizon or whatever. I mean, I guess we've got Rio, so Horizon's under our belt now. I don't know, but like the kind of freedom that those servers currently have, I think is worth saying that we're not currently offering that.
Right.
Like, if we're being completely honest about it, we potentially could. But at the same time, our attitude is that if we were to offer that, why would we put the time into offering that right now when our game is still this collaborative open source project where the people involved with that want to, make the game better could get involved with that, right?
Yeah, it is very important to focus on the fact that dedicated like lobbies are really meant for a more community focused experience, not necessarily the core game and how the game works and how run submission works, because we're handling all of that pretty much on our own. And making that to distinguish between that and like source mod, where the current server setup of I mean, obviously, right, you're on like a normal source dedicated server, and then source mod on top of that is running like the run, the zone system, all of that, whereas our core game does all of that. So like the dedicated server would have to kind of like hook into like runs being submitted if they want to know like if their server members are getting certain ranks or something, or want to do like their own leaderboards. But in the case where it's just the people that are on the server, right? So it's like kind of like a permanent filter. It really would not ever get to the point where you are customizing how the game itself plays, because we want to have kind of more of a consistent experience on the game side of things. So that's why we have runs submitting into our servers, runs submit, like every core aspect going into ours, and then lobbies, multiplayer, all of this is just stuff on top of all of it, to where it's like it's not controlling it, it's not built into it, it's not needed for it to play, it's all on top of it. You can kind of just get your own experience on the level of multiplayer you want to play. Private lobbies, friends only, public lobbies, roaming lobbies, dedicated servers, right? That's kind of like the stack, right? That it goes to where how public it is, or I guess how much experience you can have with other players.
I think it's important to distinguish then between like having the dedicated servers and having an entirely independent backend that's tracking runs and stuff like that. We'll support dedicated servers like that. We aren't necessarily going to support, entirely separate systems.
Forked backends is not something we're
it's something that is kind of no. I mean, I do want to emphasize as an open source project that it's not something we want to rule out. I genuinely do.
We're not going to remove it.
We're not putting
we're always
time
going
into
to be
it.
able to have that.
That's the thing. Is that our game code is closed source.
Yes.
The issue for me when it comes to the dedicated server stuff and whatever, server communities will want to have a degree of control, probably a larger degree of control than we're currently giving them.
We'll talk to
them. Yes, we can talk to them, but they will probably say they want more control than we're offering them.
And we'll talk to them about what they can and can't control. But ideally, right, we're not going to give them the control that source mod gives them, because again, we're not expecting you to customize the entire game.
We won't, but I do think there is a when it comes to the dedicated lobby system, I do think. I mean, I'm bringing this up in the Q&A because I think there probably is going to be some degree of conflict between the level of control we're offering them and how much they want, right?
To provide kind of an example that doesn't really have anything to do with leaderboard tracking. I haven't talked to the Jump Academy staff in a long time, so I don't really know what their plans are. But they do have a significant amount of investment into code that they use on their TF2 servers to facilitate teaching people stuff.
Right.
I mean, they have multiple repos of stuff. They don't really. I mean, I think they do have some kind of tracking of some runs so that people can save their position and stuff. That's kind of irrelevant in Momentum Mod anyway.
Right.
But I can't imagine if they wanted to come over, they would probably want a way to bring that stuff with them, because that's kind of the unique thing that they offer. I personally don't see any reason that we wouldn't provide some sort of scripting capabilities for dedicated servers. I don't see why not. I just don't know that we're going to go right out.
The issue is you just need stronger scripting capability than we're talking about. Or the
data that's sent to them needs to be more complete, which is going to be heavier for servers, which leads to smaller player support. It is something that we can look down the line. It's if you want more control over the game or something. But for the most part, right, we're expecting communities to just want to be layers on top of the game and not be their own customized server settings, their own customized server leaderboards that don't touch ours. That level of separation is you're just gonna have to fork Momentum Mod at that point and work on.
No. Well, you can't fork Momentum. Look. But what I'm saying, and I know I'm being a bit mean here because we're in the Q&A and I'm calling him out. But most communities won't be willing to just be a layer on top of Momentum, is what I'm saying.
Most existing communities.
Right, but those are the existing communities. So what I'm interested in is for when when we do the dedicated server system, which I think will probably be post 1.0 anyway, because at that point we'll get way better consultancy with those servers because there'll be more players coming in anyway. Will be that they will want more control than we're offering them currently.
Right?
What?
But that's what I'm going to ask them is for what? That's why I want to give them. I just want to.
We can give them AC, but when it comes to leaderboards, and I mean separate leaderboards, I'm against. Yeah, I totally think we should avoid separate leaderboards. I think it's going to be hard to convince.
What
them.
I'm understanding.
Basically, kind of what I'm saying is, I think we do need some kind of olive branch that gives them a non-separate
Like we're not
leaderboards
importing
thing.
times either. If they're gonna be, there's probably another one that they're gonna ask about. Can we import ranks or whatever, like times or whatever?
Yeah.
So, like they're, that's what I'm saying. Is
Well,
like it should be viewed
yeah.
as kind of just this extension
But
on
why?
top of momentum for community-oriented
But
features.
why do you expect like KSF to come to momentum? Right? Like I mean, there's no.
If they're a clan and a community more than they are a CSS platform, I would assume that they would go anywhere they could, right? That is just in the realistic expectation of any clan or any community. They would go, like, again, we're not killing CSS. We're not, Valve already killed CSGO, but we're not killing CSGO. Like, I would expect if they want to have an arm in momentum, they can, right? And that's where this would come into play. They would have a community presence. That's what I would expect out of it. Again, if we're looking at the kind of like golden age of modding of like, yeah, allowing complete control over servers and stuff, that's a little more involved. We could look into doing some things like that. Like having a ping tool just in general in lobbies would be really nice. Like that's one of the, like learn tools like that where it's like you're in a lobby and can tell other people what you're looking at. That would be amazing. And having that just built into the game so anyone can use it, and like you could join the server and have dedicated people that will help. So like that's where I'm viewing like the discussion with communities like that have server functionality like that, including it in the base game so everyone can benefit from it, right? That's why Momentum has a lot of VIP features for free, is because it's beneficial that way.
I think that's the issue with like the dedicated server stuff. It's like, I don't know, we're being a bit coy about it. Like, if you do want to do like, you don't gain that much from having a dedicated server on Momentum. That's the issue. It's like we ultimately Momentum still has way more.
Monetarily, you mean? You don't gain monetarily, or?
Well, no, I mean, Momentum just has all the features, and like the leaderboards aren't like separate. You don't have separate leaderboards, which we shouldn't have. Like with something like KSF, essentially, you either play Momentum or KSF. Like, there's not really that much reason to be part of KSF, besides like the KSF Discord server. Besides, like,
well, keeping in mind that was probably the only way to play. That's where everyone is, right? Like that's the main problem, right? If it's a single point of I don't want to get into that either, because that's going to.
I'm making this too discussive. I'm sorry. I'm making this meeting too not a Q&A. It's us discussing stuff.
I think that the best thing for us to do would be to come back to this later and try and isolate what use cases do we intend dedicated servers for. Because I would totally run a personal dedicated server on a desktop in my closet just for me and my friends, that it's always open. That's a use case that's completely different from like all of KSF is going to come to Momentum. And I'm sure there's probably other things.
I think that's a thing that
we should isolate those and just figure out to what extent we're going to support different use cases and how we're going to do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm being controversial here, I know, but what I'm essentially saying is that like pretending that dedicated servers are a use case for an entire server network that's existed for a decade, I think is disingenuous.
It's an arm for them to come to Momentum. It isn't a replacement.
Well, I think it's disingenuous.
If they genuinely want full control over the game, they wouldn't even come in the first place. Like, no matter what we.
That's what I mean. I think no, that's precisely what I mean. I'm saying ultimately the players either come from KSF or they don't. I'm not saying I'm just saying there's not a middle ground in which like that server exists as a sort of.
I can totally see some communities having like an auxiliary Momentum server that's just like.
Yeah, but it's not. But when you don't have separate leaderboards and you don't have separate bands or whatever, like, I mean, it's just kind of.
Yeah, it would just be a thing for. It would be a purely social thing.
Server. Like there's stuff like that we'll have, but
But it won't affect the leaderboards.
No. Well, it would affect your server's leaderboards, right? Like if the server has its own like kind of filtered leaderboards, banning them would remove them from that leaderboard. But there's. Again, it's just like it's integrating with our systems because like we want all runs to be fairly validated, and
and also we want the people that want to work on SC to come work with us.
Yeah,
like the thing I'm trying to emphasize is like I don't think it's right to say that dedicated servers can. I think it's pretending to say that dedicated servers can just take over from like existing like CS source dedicated servers, right? Like that, it is just a fundamentally different thing, and some communities won't want to do that. I'm guessing KSF won't want to do that. So I don't know. I would prefer to be honest about that fact. I'd just be like, yeah, well, we think we're better and we're a better platform. We have better AC and whatever. Eventually, people will come over and use our leaderboards. But you know,
I mean, again, the whole point of momentum, and this is the same response that I'd give somebody that, like the person that asked that first one, waiting for maps to be ported to CS2, as if they're not even going to play momentum once CS2 gets served. The whole thing about momentum is the platform, right? Like, that's why you would play it. Is like the idea that momentum is fully offline. You can play whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want, right? For however long you want. With all these VIP features that you'd find on Lobbies for free, for a completely smooth gameplay, right? Completely free replays and everything, right? All of that being the main draw of the game, right? We can't say, hey, we have KSF here or whatever, right? Like, we can't, that won't be a reason to draw people, if that makes, it shouldn't be. I never want momentum to be that scummy, to be like, yeah, I guess, like, you know, your favorite community is here. Like, I would hope that the people from your community would come here and hang out here, but that, like, isn't the sole reason to want to jump here. I know for some people it is, but that's not why I'm making momentum. Like, I'm not making it for the dedicated communities. I'm making it for the game modes and the communities surrounding that, if that makes sense. Like, I'd rather have the game be a great game to play even without even touching a server, right? Or multiplayer lobby or anything like that, right? And then on top of that, I used to play on KSF all the time. They have a dedicated server. Let me go check that out. Stuff like that, right? So I think I'm not ever going to take the point here of like, I want, you know, dedicated servers to come over at any cost either, because like realistically there's going to be a limit of how much we can support. Things will have to be either natively added to the game, or again, you'd have to fork. And at this rate,
but you can't fork. I mean,
you can't fork a game. So yeah, like that's why we want to discuss and like what features would be expected, because again, we don't want to run plugins, because that's the whole point, is that the game has the plugins in it, right? So it's like that's
if we're going to tell people to fork the game, we need to make it possible to actually do that, because they can't touch the closed source code.
Right, for the game, so, but I meant the server side, so backend. They want their own AC, their own backend and stuff.
But then you don't have a client that can hook up with it. You'd have to hook up like 087 and then figure out.
You would need to do the work to make that possible.
You're right, and so. What I'm saying, and I think it's important to establish with momentum stuff, is that we're not trying to be, you know, the way that like Sandbox or whatever might try to be this sort of safe haven for like random mods or whatever. I mean, momentum is not that. We're not saying that some random server network can come to momentum and just like be their own server network on momentum.
Unless I think they are okay with the features we give them, like that's the other side.
Ultimately, they're not their own.
Oh, I'm expecting this to be 1-to-1.
Okay, but by server network, I mean like the runs that you submit are only run to that server network. That's just not a thing we support, and I think it is important to establish that whilst dedicated servers will allow a degree of freedom, ultimately dedicated servers are not source servers in really any of the major ways that people expect source servers to be.
Right.
And I think that is important for us to establish. And it's a bit disingenuous to sort of bark around the bush and be like, you can be your own server network or whatever. You can't. Like, you're using our leaderboards.
To quote my project lead, let's take this offline.
Sorry, I know, I'm rambling. We don't have that many questions, but yeah, we should move on. Sorry.
No, that's right. But still, I guess kind of recapping this, dedicated servers are aiming to be dedicated, like hostable, like lobbies as a separate executable. So the player hosted roaming lobbies and stuff built into the game. peer-to-peer, they're kind of temporary, right? Dedicated instances like this will have way more features like passwords and stuff like that. We'll have an iron list of what we're going to have. We're going to reach out to other server owners to see if there's things that we could easily add and or that would be missing or something. But realistically, right, it's just going to be a hostable, like up 24/7, whether or not you have the game open or not, lobby that you can throw anywhere, and that will be like the central point for it. It might not even be peer-to-peer. It'll probably just be you to the server. So so we'll see, but we got to develop it more. We got to talk with some server owners. Hopefully they'll listen. We'll see how much control they want and stuff. But anyway, thank you, Chris, for this question. We'll move on to the next one.
Sorry, I'm very disrespectful to that last question, Nick, by the way. I'm grumpy tonight. I've been out for fucking
it's all good.
18 hours.
It's all good.
Sorry.
That's
Momentum
why we need specs.
sucks.
That's why we need specs.
Momentum Surf has global autohop, but on most surf servers, mappers and triggers. But on most surf servers, mappers add triggers to create autohop zones. Will this be the same in Momentum, or is there another approach?
Yeah, so there will be global autohop in any case where mappers do not want that to be the case. You can use our limit movement zones. So we do have entities that will allow you to kind of alternate or kind of change the way that movement might work right on your map.
We have a start zone flag as well.
Oh yeah,
kind
that's
of
right.
The new O10 zoning system.
Yeah, and the new
zone. Kind of the opposite. We allow auto hop everywhere, and you have to opt out of it instead of not allowing it and you opt in. I think.
No, it changes per game mode. Surf doesn't.
Well, for surf
doesn't allow it. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking about surf specifically. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me. I'm gonna find the document.
Yeah, but we were talking about like something where we would have like some automatic way to detect like jumping on spines or something like that. Are we going to do that, or was that just kind of a thought experiment?
Rio was messing with that.
Yeah, Rio, I think it was.
You can do. I think that some of that was tied into tracing stuff.
Yeah, you just trace from each corner of the bounding box down, and
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, and that's exactly what I think the question is getting at. Yeah, sorry. What and we can do. It's quite easy. Like we discussed at one point just not even allowing it, and you just slide off. I don't think it's that.
Yeah, where you just you don't have a jump at all. You just kind of slide. We do things like that.
I think
but
we have a branch for that.
I guess kind of clarifying here, yeah, we will have for surf global auto hop, but you do have to opt out, as Lumia was saying. Realistically, right, there's not going to be too many cases where I think we have to override that. I think with auto hop, it's nice because not a lot of surf maps really have like bunny hoppable platforms. I think bunny hopping on spines, as we were talking about, was probably one of the main concerns with having auto hop. Which you could still do with scroll.
Yeah.
But anyway, like we can have more control over like, do we want to make spines for ramps slides, right? Do we want to make them not really care if you're jumping or whatever because you're just going to slide on them. So like we have more control over the game code in that case, but realistically, right, we do want to have global auto hop because it's useful. It's more useful than it is detrimental. To have on because it would just be annoying to have your entire map consumed by an auto hop trigger or something like that, right? Like it makes more sense to have it enabled and then you opt out of areas where it shouldn't be enabled or anything like that, but still offering that ability for mappers to do that.
And also to be clear, like our limit movement trigger doesn't. It has the option to not just disable auto hop, but also disable, like basically add a speed cap. So, if you want a place where you absolutely don't want people be hopping, mappers can put that there. And it's like, it doesn't just turn into like scroll hop RNG, like it'll actually just not work. Yeah. So mappers do have that kind of control. It's more than just turning off auto hop.
There's
It all starts auto-hoping.
there's a comment thread in our zone doc about spine Bhops that is just like from last March, and it's like what's it like 7 comments between Panzer and Rhea about spines. I think we've thought about it quite a bit in that case. There's clearly a lot of thought gone into it. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, it makes sense from what I'm reading. It's something that we should definitely get in for O10 and then see, how if anything is that jank. But
And that's the nice thing about the game, again, not being publicly released and everything counts right now, right? Like, we have the ability to experiment. And that's really awesome. Like, just being able to be like, yeah, let's try. Auto hop off, but whatever. Right? We could do things like that. Realistically, it's just like seeing kind of pros and cons of everything, weighing that. That's what's most important. So, yeah. That's why servers like KSF. Oh, because abusability is discovered later after the release.
yeah, and we have our map testing phase, but that won't find everything.
That won't find everything, but yeah, I guess I would have to see some of the auto hop abuse if it's just like speed gain on like a part of the map that you shouldn't be able to auto hop or something. Yeah, I'd really have to just see how it works. Sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze right now. That's why I'm.
Do it.
A lot of
anyway,
wasn't a lot of spine Bhops coming from the RNG fix implementation, where it would give a lot more speed than it should?
I think so, actually.
So, like, with our implementation, maybe they're not even a problem for most of the time.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of been one of the main difficulty things is like we're as one-to-one as possible, but we've made improvements to even fixes, right? RNG fix and stuff like that, right? Like where it's properly implemented by the plugin author, right? Rio's been working on it. So like realistically, like there's a lot of things like this where it might not even be an issue.
I think more generally though, the question can be if exploits are found on a map after it is released, are we going to let mappers go back and change it? Are we going to like remove leaderboard times? How are we going to handle that?
Well, the main thing we want to do is avoid that. We can always add extra tracks that change those properties within some of the zoning design, I think. But like,
I mean, it's going to happen, so we need a way to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
well, considering a map can go between approved to disabled to back to public tests and stuff.
Oh yeah, we can reset rank XP easily. Like
the map.
We do. As I was asking Rhea earlier today, I'd forgotten what the word he was using. It's very volatile, that data. So I mean, yes. the stuff in Redis, all the rank stuff, it's very volatile. We can just change it. I mean,
we don't want to have to keep doing it, which I think is what disres's follow-up question was getting at. So like doing a blanket fix of just turning it off is very bizarre, but it makes sense. I mean, technically, Surf doesn't need it, right? Like you realistically only jump onto the first ramp, right, for each of the stages or whatever, right? Like you don't really jump. There are hops and stuff. There are like boost, platforms and stuff like that. That you do have to.
No,
jump
there
off
are.
of.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, there are some surf maps where it's important, but. Yeah, like if it being defaulted off and then having in our start zone a default on option or something like that, if that's the best way to just straight up prevent it. If the thing that we're preventing is already fixed by one of our proper movement fixes, then we don't even need to consider it. It's just like it's really just weighing all of that. So
sorry to butt in. I think Rio has already figured this out.
Okay.
And I just can't remember what he said.
Okay. So
I think it's still.
We'll reconvene with what Rio has figured out.
I know Rio thought about this stuff, and I'd rather, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And Rio's the main guy that's been working on a lot of when it comes to the zoning side of Surf and Bhop. So.
Yeah.
Need to hold 2 days later get Rio in here.
Yeah.
Bring him in. No, Rio said Rio's not around today, so yeah.
Yeah,
but I was chatting with him last night. We're married now.
So, yeah, it's going to take probably a bit of feedback from our internal, like Rio, our internal team, and then probably getting some feedback from mappers as well if they have ideas on it. Yeah, I really just want to see like where the main pre-speed or like where auto hop being a problem is before I can really make like an educated like I guess assumption about it. But we're so volatile right now with our settings that we could very easily flip it and just make it just manual auto hop or manual hop, and then you just in zone properties edit the auto hop for it.
Yeah,
so
we
you can even
got
have
time
one
to...
stage have auto hop or something, right? Like you could do that. So yeah, we'll kind of see what's going to work best. And just over time come up with an approach that hopefully will satisfy mappers and players alike.
These are all also things that'll be kind of ironed out between 0.10 and 1.0 because we're going to get map submissions and then stuff will get broken, but it's okay because we're going to wipe again before 1.0 anyway.
Yeah.
So if there's stuff like this that we don't get right first try, we should have lots of time to like actually see examples of things breaking and fix it before the real release.
Right. All right. Thank you, Disres, for these questions. This is very good feedback, though, too. And it is, again, it's one of the things why it's like we want to make sure that we're not exactly one-to-one, but like trying to pull in things that, servers have already figured out, or see why servers are working around certain things and seeing if we can fix them natively. So it's really good to see stuff like this. So thank you for bringing it up. We'll move on to our next one.
This is the Chomp 1, Chomp 223. Do you think there will be an AI that can create surf maps or other modes better than any human? If so, what will that mean for Memendamart? Who knows?
No.
What a good question. No.
Why
I'm
not?
so bored of AI stuff. I don't care. It's just so... There's so much in the world that's really interesting. There's not AI stuff. You know? There's so much to talk about. I could talk about anything. AI for surf, yeah, maybe. Who cares?
I mean, there's a lot that goes into like just like very specific mappers, maps, and things like that.
Yeah, there's people.
Maps
that do
being
stuff.
made by people is
I like that.
I guess it means like less
computers.
death threats when people don't like your maps, but
yeah.
I mean, not to mention with current technology, any AI that's capable of making surf maps is basically just taking other people's surf maps. And
it's just regurgitating shit. Who cares? Can we talk about something good, like, I don't know, poetry or something? I'll talk about poetry instead of this. Just so bored of AI. Sorry.
Could AI make a poem that's better than a surf map?
Cryptocurrency create surf maps?
I'm gonna kill you, gang.
Honestly, though, I would be completely fine with a ban on like AI-generated assets in uploaded maps, because there will be people who like give us AI-generated textures or something.
There already is.
It's just like, I mean, AI is like
bad,
interesting. Like, I was curious about AI texture stuff for a bit, and then realized that like I was curious about it just using on Valve stuff because fucking Valve stuff is annoying. But then, like, when you think about like anything that's made by actual people as opposed to Valve employees, sorry, like it's just
Jesus.
I'm grumpy at Valve today. I mean, it's just I'm so bored.
There already are AI generated textures being used in maps right now.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Like some KSF people have been going hard on that recently. And just, I don't know if there's a map that includes
we can't find textures, like, most
that's not really enforceable.
Yeah, we can't really enforce it.
No,
even AI detection tools aren't even
good. AI stuff is
like, it's a different story if someone was being paid and you're, like, generating it So
Yeah,
like you don't have to
but
pay people, but that's not
outside
what
of our
happens.
stuff. I guess maybe
Yeah.
our mapping competitions that we host would be the only time that we can
Yeah,
get a
maybe
little more
it could
scrutiny
be
around where people get their
100% made by
stuff.
humans. But,
Maybe we even
yeah.
give them the assets that they need to use for it or something. I don't know, but
There's a prize pool, yeah, I imagine.
yeah.
But
yeah, so yeah, I yeah, like actually creating the map though, like the actual like layout and stuff. I don't know. It'd be cool to be AI assisted, maybe helping you do the like perfect ramp like setup for something, but realistically you're gonna have to have a human touch. Otherwise it's just not gonna be enjoyable. Because like what gauges whether or not a map is fun is very subjective. It's very subjective. People like different things, as we have found out from including a bunch of different modes. People like different things. So like you can't really have, I guess, an AI that will generate. I mean, maybe down the line
I just don't want it. And I'm so...
It's just gonna be
like
dumb.
even if it was better, I don't think it's
who gains
like it
from
won't
fucking...
Yeah, like we have a whole process in place to where it's like if it is so convincingly human, what's the point anyway? To where it's like, right, like the only gain that you'd get out of it is that, yeah, I guess you could be an AI mapper or something, but like also like people get to, I guess, play your map that has gone through testing and people liked. So it's like I don't really see, I don't really see that problem. But I feel like a lot of AI generated stuff would probably die in map review.
Yeah, well, I mean,
if one person
problem
kept
is
doing
like
it,
we don't have to
probably ask them
review
to
that
stop.
shit. An AI might produce a valid BSP, but we don't have to fucking play it. Like, it's just not for like a community content game where no one's making money from maps. It's just like
people are gonna make maps regardless.
Yeah.
I'm just so. There's a lot of AI stuff, like, you know, there are genuinely interesting use cases for AI, but so many fucking pointless ones that, and I feel like this is just a case of something where it should be, it's just ignored and moved on from. I just find this really boring, and I'm sort of saying that in principle. I mean, it is boring, but I think it is in principle boring. If that makes any sense, which it probably doesn't. But no, momentum mod NFTs we are doing. Okay, can we move on?
Yes, we can move on.
Next question is
Interrobang.
Punctuation.
Interrobang, I think, is that.
Punctuation from the mappers on the team. What are some things that inspire / motivate you for the maps that you are creating? And what are your favorite maps? You map, bro.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the first part of that question?
What are some of the things that inspire / motivate you? Yeah.
I just like a lot of different pieces of media kind of inspire like what the map should look like. But it doesn't really have too much of a bearing on like how it plays.
I think for me, the inspiration for playing stuff is just playing other people's maps and then just like coming up with like what you would do better, I guess.
See, that's the opposite for me. Always try to like make something that like no one, I guess, has done. Well, I guess you have to play other people's maps to do that, but
I find music that I think would make a good showcase video, and then I make a map to fit the music.
That's cool.
Yeah, a lot of it is just you take random art. Like a lot of, for me, it was like some manga, some like songs, and you just kind of make a map that vibes around that. It's all vibes.
But
that's art, right?
I had to cut this part out because it wouldn't fit in the thing, but they're asking because they're an aspiring mapper. I would say just go start making a map. One of the things that I find helpful if you're trying to get a like visual style down is to do like a little, I don't know, like an artboard room. Make a little miniature map that has all this kind of like theme stuff in it that you want, and then you can go and apply that to the real map later. That helps.
Yeah, I've heard that some people, if they have like a specific part of a map that they want to take inspiration from, sometimes they'll just paste it into their map and then they'll build around it and then delete it. And then like that helps them kind of visualize what they need to make. But also just making stuff that like you enjoy playing is the best way you're gonna make it.
Yeah, you have to like it or you're just not gonna make that great of a map.
Yeah.
A lot of it for me is just religious
first.
iconography. The crucifix is a big one.
So lots of lingua ignota.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I do have a cathedral map.
Yeah, my next map is going to be heavily Baptist.
Not gonna lie, Stoneworks, immaculate vibe.
Yeah, Stoneworks is really good.
Basically,
that series is one of my favorites, but my current favorite map is Surf Map NJV.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, for me, trying to surf around the crucifixion.
You're gonna say something really stupid.
Yeah,
I was like pre-laughing.
You can't avoid the crucifixion. Like you can't surf around
exactly.
it. You have to face it
when it comes to surf as a game mode, I mean, so much of it is dependent on Christianity, right? And I mean, it is an inherently Christian game mode.
That's one of the reasons we're not adding Minecraft movement is because Minecraft is too Christian for us.
Good, right? I mean, because
Protestant.
Notch is a deeply Christian man.
Yeah, good on Notch for instilling good values in a kid's game.
Yeah, what a good man. For me, that's the funniest bit. Yeah. Notch, what a good guy. Dumb cunt. Anyway, let's move on.
All right. Was there any other feedback for Interrobang's question?
Just map.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad maps.
The
so you can never make the worst map.
It might suck at
even
first.
if you tried. You will not make the worst one.
You'll never be as good as Banana Land, though.
That's true. There are some very but yeah. So just do it. We got probably a couple more questions here though.
There's some in chat. The last one, no, there's one more. There's one more in the slides.
Oh, is there? Oh, I went presentation mode, so they don't show up. Let me try.
No, it's my bad. I added it too late, I guess.
How dare you?
I can do it.
I'm so fucking tired.
I'm gonna have to wake you up.
No.
What if I came at you with a knife?
I would be able to.
I would die
again. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there we go. We got it. Okay. Last question.
You're a true pacifist.
All right. Last question's up. In the slides, at least.
More stuff that we could get through and really fast. Edo, will it be possible to change the style, for example, task segment backwards, LG exit? Yeah.
Yep.
So we've done that. There's part of O10. How much of that will be in? For us internally, it's very similar to stage times. The UI is a bit different and stuff, but it's kind of in the same boat. So exactly when it's in is hard to say.
Yeah.
One thing to point out is that CPM and VQ3 are not tiles; they are separate modes for us. Because the stuff that impact core game mode code is much clearer for us to split out into sub modes, so they're kind of in the same category. Defrag is the category in the sub modes, so VQ3 and CPM. For us, we don't really care about the category like in internal code. That's just really a UI thing. And so the sort of, I mean, it was very hard for us to sort of pull apart all the incredible number of different variations and stuff. And so the best we kind of came up with was using a lot of Christian iconography. No, so we
category.
We have the doc, right? The document has like
we'll maybe publish someday, but I think the fucking mess.
We'll
but so tasks and segmented stuff, those do fall under stars, but then we have separate stars for like we can have like tasks for half sideways and stuff, but it's complicated.
Yep.
They all need to fit in some fucking bit flag somehow into. We can only have 64 of them, basically. If there's more than 64, the game shuts down.
we can't shut the game down. We can't do it.
We have to move to Postgres 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good question from Bappy, Nick. Do you want to go to
that? Yeah.
Well, I'll read it out. And then you can answer. So
we can go back to Q&A live and get the last 4 here, because we gotta get those, and then we'll get some. We can answer Bappy's question once we get a gameplay going.
But to summarize on this one, yes, we will have all these kinds of different styles and submodes.
Yeah.
And they will be, like, I think we're going to have tasks and segmented for every mode.
Yes.
And then for, like, stuff like Bhop, we'll have sideways or half sideways or something like that. Different tick rates
I could be wrong. I think I might have been wrong when I said that we would have tasks half sideways. I think that's wrong.
I don't think we're going to do that, because that's pointless in tasks.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm also not sure if we'll have
there's some things that are really pointless to combine,
but there's nothing mechanically that's different about tasks. Regular surf and task half sideways, I don't think.
Yeah.
And it's complicated. Sorry.
And we're also not going to have like every possible combination of everything imaginable, so because that would just be way too much, I think.
I don't think so. I think we will fit in a bit field, but I don't think we're going to allow certain stuff just in backend code.
Yeah.
There's more stuff in Q&A live. I'm slightly run out of energy. Sorry. When will the new localizations be coded into the game? Next update. Done.
Yes. Every update, we update we pulled the latest strings from localization. New languages like the new Thai. Sorry. What was the language that Bhop just added? No, not Portuguese. They added a new one. I completely forgot which one it is, but we will also add that new language. We added it to Go Editor, but it isn't currently mapped to anything in game. But yeah, so that'll be. It's just every update it gets coded into the game.
I'm gonna leave at the 2-hour mark. I'm sorry, I'm too tired. I need to go to bed. Will there be full support for ultrawide monitors, e.g. doesn't Ellis use some insane monitor setup?
I know I use ultrawide, and it's pretty much fully supported except for some main menu stuff I know.
Yep.
Yeah, we have support for that. We also have 4.3 support and stretched 4.3.
Yep. Cool.
But the race tab, would the races be like Fall Guys type of race, but with the movement game? No.
No.
Yes.
What? To like a crown? So the race types, the race subtype, or sorry, race mode or whatever, right? Where you engage in a race. There's 2 types.
No. It's racial.
Racial. Wait, what? Okay.
No.
Anyway, so sorry. When you engage with like start a race, you have 2 options. You have one where there's a time limit, and it's whoever gets the fastest time in that time limit. And then the other one is first to complete. So you can just casually race somebody to a complete on a map or a stage or whatever. We'll figure out how we want to kind of set it up. But there's, I guess that's more like Fall Guys. But it's not really qualifying. I guess a more like battle royale-esque mode could be something that we do in the future too, because that's like possible. Like you could do things.
There
like
was
that.
something that some server network started doing. I can't remember what one, but they started doing some surf battle royale thing. But that'd be great to do on like trick stuff maps. That could be fun. I don't know. Especially with like increased map size limits, you could do like you could do like a big what is it, like marbles map, you know?
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Huge maps.
Huge. Sorry, it's the Bernie Sanders huge. Bohemas asks, how will toxicity be dealt with if and when it comes up, especially dealing with more serious things? Permanent chat moots, bans, or what do you guys think? I can talk on this if that's all right. So I really like CS:GO's system of chat mutes. I think it's a good way of making it so most people don't get listened to who are toxic, but you can listen to if you really want to.
Yep.
We kind of want to have a more sophisticated system based on that is more human moderated, and I think that will work well. And so if you join a lobby and like spam slurs, you'll get banned pretty fast. When it comes to chat, we don't want to track chat messages, essentially. It becomes a really complicated privacy thing where it gets really awkward to do, but then if you're not doing that, you then have to like verify based on multiple accounts. I've not spoken about this that much with Nick. We were going to do this in a meeting at some point soon. My feeling is it's the best approach is to have human moderators dealing with multiple reports that corroborate certain stuff. Don't rely on stuff within the exact same time frame. That is kind of exploitable, but essentially, if you join a lobby and spam slurs, you might not get banned immediately. If you do that twice, you'll probably get banned. By ban, I mean just auto muted.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you? Like, so like the system we discussed last time, I think we were deciding towards doing a 1 month auto mute, and then if you do it again, it's a permanent. Also, we were working on account deletion stuff recently. You can't just delete your account and then remake one.
Right.
The general thing I think we really want to try and establish is that we do have human moderators. It's not like something like CS:GO or PS2, whatever, which is pretty similar to Overwatch 2 in a way. It's not that different. Anyway, if you're doing that multiple times and you're getting multiple reports, you will just get banned. It's not something you just get away with in the same way that you do on a system like Counter-Strike, where like no one really cares. Like if you like you need to be more toxic than other people, right? And that's not what we want. For us, like if you're just being toxic enough to get loads of bans saying the same thing, but you're doing it in multiple different lobbies from multiple different people that aren't connected, then you just get an auto mute.
Yeah.
And like it will just become a thing of pretty easily, if you do that, you're just never gonna talk in momentum lobbies. Which
well, you can, but no one's gonna hear you, and you won't.
Yeah, right.
And that's the best.
Well, no, you might
outcome,
know it. I
right?
think we probably will warn people that we're doing it. But
yeah. We could.
It's just dumb. Don't do it.
It's more fun to not let them know and just let them be a waste of racist.
Yeah,
space.
but exactly like the.
But the point is, the toxicity will be dealt with as kind of like an auto mute, and it is something that you will have to opt into hearing what they say. And we could have some sort of system where maybe if your friends get auto muted, your Steam friends with them, maybe it'll auto opt into seeing them or something. Like if you're really worried about that, we could do something like that. But yeah, if it's a random person that's joining your lobby and they're auto muted, you have to opt into seeing their message.
But also, if you are auto muted and you're still getting loads of reports for doing the same shit, like I would like a system to just permanently mute them to then they can't talk to anyone. Like if you're getting to the point where like you're just joining random lobbies, people are unmuting you and you're still saying toxic stuff. Yeah. And like if it's hard to establish that because again we don't want to collect chat stuff, but like
we could adopt
a permanent
Xbox's
community ban.
8-strike system.
I just
something like that.
Essentially, the thing for us that's distinct between other modes, other games, is that we do have community moderators that will do this. Like I'm happy doing this. Like once a week, I'll check in on like the community reports and just ban a bunch of people saying slurs, whatever. Doesn't really depress me that much to hear like random kids saying slurs. I mean, just whatever. and it's kind of cathartic. Whatever, you just ban them, or mute them, whatever. Like I think the main thing the important thing is to establish within the community that if you do this, you will just get muted.
Yeah.
Don't do this. If you want to be able to talk to people, don't fucking do this. Like, we have standards that we can enforce. We're not going to be incredibly strict in enforcing this stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, the stuff that's really obvious, we're not going to debate with you on. That's the core thing. Like, the people that are just trolls, don't debate them. You just, if you're doing stuff that's unacceptable, you mute. That's it. We're not going to have a conversation with you if you're, like, doing dumb stuff. We're just going to mute you. And that, I think, is a good precedent to set. And hopefully, if we can establish that, that will get somewhere. Inevitably, you'll get people that try and skirt the boundaries of that. But you can, with a community system, I think you can get definitely further than most multiplayer games do, because they don't have any kind of human moderation, because it's just expensive.
Yeah.
For us, it's free.
Community service.
Sorry,
So you like have to make a map if they
momentum community service. Yeah. Submit us like a good quality map, or you're gone. That's a really funny idea, though. But like,
yeah,
we'll also apply in Discord as well. Like, we can track that between the bot and our backend easily. So,
and we'll have community guidelines very clearly. Somewhere.
Like, the main thing is, like, if you look at something like CS Counter-Strike, like, they have their like fair play guidelines or whatever that shows up whenever you like join a game.
Yeah.
And it's just like someone at Valve was just fucking bored and typed that up. And it's like, you know that like the toxic people don't give a shit about that.
Right.
It's a silly, like, I guess it's maybe good to have, but I really don't believe it does anything. The main thing is precedent setting, right? And so you get the toxic people and you ban them.
Yeah.
And you gotta be aggressive. How to get a key to play this in Q&A live? Read FAQ. Go away. Delete. Okay. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
If we've got any questions that are relevant to me.
There's that last one that you put in voice team, but other than that,
voice team.
But they might not be relevant to, because that's more assets.
What the end game goals of player models and customizability?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
End game goals are really hard. That's much more new than me. I'm cynical about player models.
Yeah. So the end goal for kind of like player models and customization, right, around everything, we really want to allow players to express themselves as much as they want to in each mode, right? So ideally, each game mode you can have a base like look, and then each game mode you can customize further, or just use the base or whatever. Kind of have like overrides for it. Ideally, right, we have full player models. We have, we could do things like voice lines and stuff down the line. I've been playing a lot of Deep Rock. I think something like a rock and stone button is very, very nice to have. But that's more of a cooperative kind of hurrah thing. We'll have to see how to do kind of, more fun things like that. We can do things like emotes, right? Taunts, stuff like that. Right? We have the code for it, at least from Valve. And realistically, right, having some achievement related collectibles as well, where you have things like, oh, you've done 100 surf maps, right? Here's some surf related cosmetic, right, to represent your favorite game modes that you're really grinding out or really being good at. That's huge. And then on top of all of that, right, like that's all about the game and how to play the game, right? Not how to play the game, but like game related mechanics, right? Sticky bomb launcher, weapons, right? Things like that. We can also have things on top of that where it's community layers stuff of like, okay, you could have maybe like, I don't know, a banner that has your clan logo or something on it, right? Where when we have clan support, you can have some customization there around, I'm in this clan and I want to rep this clan that I'm in. And right, all this customization shows up in lobbies and in replays, right? So the main thing around that is, oh, whoops. Yeah, that's right. Tom dipped. I think we can go to this and that and there. Okay. Oh, wow. Whoops. I need to resize stuff. My bad. Yeah, hold on. It's close enough. Okay. But anyway, yeah, so the idea, right, being that we really want you to represent yourself in, you know, whatever way you'd want to. Not really the Fortnite approach of like random fucking like garbage. And also not the Steam Workshop approach of like literally anything you'd ever want, but having kind of more something that's because all of these cosmetics will be in a cosmetic store that you get units, right, for just playing the game, and you can unlock things at your own choice, right? You choose what you want to unlock, that way it's not random or anything like that. Except obviously for the achievement related, right, or like a clan related one, right, like that'll be, you gotta do that. But like, yeah, the majority of the vast majority of the cosmetics are going to be inside the cosmetic store. And yeah, it's like we want to provide a reason to play, right, grind the game, play the game for these things, and then have it in, you know, have it be meaningful in what you're showing off, right? So your replays and lobbies are going to be the main area there, because otherwise you can just locally modify your game to have whatever you want. We're never going to get rid of you being able to override the default player, you know, player model or whatever to be whatever you want. Never going to get rid of that. The only caveat is it doesn't show up for other players. It won't be in your replay that you send online. It won't be in your lobby, even though if you join a lobby or do a replay, you'll see it, if that makes sense, because it's all local. But our cosmetics that you unlock or that you do, you know, you get, those will be networked. Those will be in the replays and stuff. So that's how we kind of can do a little bit of filtering while still allowing you to still customize fully locally and stuff like that. We don't ever want to take that away. We're not ever going to make money off of the cosmetics either. So a lot of the cosmetics that are going into the game are going to have to be entirely, you know, just kind of passion driven, like things that are high quality, but also just like, you know, are worth grinding for and things like that. So we're not going to be stuffing a bunch of weapon skins, for example, because we're trying to get $3 off of a child, where we have to make, you know, stick or like hedgehog stickies or something to make like it feel more complete as like an experience, or like something to actually want to have, right? As opposed to like, oh yay, it's like, you know, black and red sticky bomb launcher now, epic. Anyway, so yeah, there's going to be realistically a set number of categories of things, at least at when we implement it, right? So we're going to probably aim for it around like 1.0 to 1.1. If we can get it in an initial system in before 1.0, that'd be great. But yeah, the other thing too is that we'd love to be able to, I know a lot of people enjoy the like TF2 launchers and stuff like that, and we really want to be able to set that as well if you have it mounted. So the way that we'll do that is just like you can set your appearance to have that, and then if players have it mounted, they can, you know, see it. Otherwise, they'll just probably use the stock or something rocket launcher or like a backup or something.
Do you think Valve would get mad at us if we let people equip like just arbitrary skins and weapons and effects from other games? Do you think that
they got upset at CS:GO servers for allowing people to show that they had or like use knives?
Yeah,
that would probably be what I would lean on towards. Probably, yeah. They would probably get upset. But like, I think if like, you know, we just use the base weapons and we just mount it, I think we're okay. We could also probably query whether or not you own the skins and then do it like that. So like if you actually wanted to have it in our game, you go and buy it in TF2, so that way they're not mad at all because they get the money out of that. I don't know.
Of course, you can always overwrite it yourself manually.
Yes,
like it's,
absolutely.
Especially like, I mean, as long as we have like the compatibility with the asset format, and we should, because Strato's backwards compatible with everything going back to like 1971.
Yeah.
Like you can always just do that locally. I just think if we let people do it like in game, maybe Valve would be upset.
Yeah.
My big thing is that if we have a way to like access your inventory items from Momentum Mod, like nobody else should ever see that. It should be local only. I don't ever want to see someone's fucking golden pan in Momentum Mod because they spent $10,000 in TF2 for it. Like, I don't want other games' economies leaching into Momentum Mod.
Exactly. Yeah. So like we might curb it to just like the base weapon, because a lot of people just like seeing the original or whatever for their launcher, instead of our very awesome model made by
Bufuka.
Come
on, let's go.
So yeah, so we'll see how much, like, you know, but you can always customize it locally. We'll never take that away. But like in terms of like what we network or what we say that you're wearing to other players in your replays and in lobbies, that's going to be, yeah, significantly more streamlined and expressive, very expressive. We really want you to be able to kind of customize your person as much as you want. Yeah, so we'll see how like voice lines and stuff work, because like they can be fun. I understand that they can be fun. So we'll see, but yeah. So we'll update you as we get closer and closer and start speccing out in Iron, because I still actually have to do the spec for it. But yeah, voice lines, medic.
I wrote a script for Momentum to let me say medic when I press E.
Every move that I make is a medic call out. But yeah, so we'll see. Again, we want it to be streamlined. We want things to not be obnoxious. That's the other aspect, is like trails are one thing that we're gonna be looking into, of like, do we keep it as more of like a personal thing as opposed to other people, because they can get, if you have like more than like 20 people with trails, it gets a little crazy. So we'll see like what elements of our current customization we have. Colorization and things like that will always be free for whatever that you get that can be colorizable. There might be some things where it doesn't make sense to change the colors of or anything like that, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, realistically, we want to provide meaningful cosmetics that do not annoy but do represent how you play, or like how you are as a player. So yeah.
By the way, to all the people in chat asking questions, we might not get to your questions this stream, so if we don't answer your question, be sure to put it in our Discord server in the Q&A live channel, and we'll get to it next month.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Lumia. Very good point. Please
we do have trails. Yeah,
we do have trails. Yeah, player trails right now, and they are networked. But yeah, and we'll show that off in some lobbies here. We're about to go play the game now, but yeah, so please feel free to join our Discord, ask us questions over in our Q&A live channel for this stream. We do these every single last Saturday. We've done it 30 times in a row so far, so yeah. Cool. Okay, we'll go ahead and get in game here. Should be good. I'll get going. I'll do my standard spiel, but yeah. All right. I didn't update the game. We have a giant update coming. It's been a little bit. But yeah. Oh shit! I already. Hold on. 1 second. I have to reboot it. 1 sec. Because I got to show this off. Because this is apparently extremely important, and people are somehow missing this. Okay. Gameplay plus webcams. That's it. And then. Cool. Okay. Cool. Hi. Welcome to the game. The actual like gameplay aspect of it. Welcome to the Momentum Mod playtest. We got in. I just want to take a second here and point this out. This isn't a quick time event, as some players may have thought this was. This is very pertinent information that's very important to read. Yeah, the thing in red mainly, that your times that you're submitting right now will be wiped. They're going to be gone. They're not going to continue on to 1.0 and onwards. They will be wiped. 1.0 is going to be a fresh slate for everybody, everyone. So yeah, like just keep that in mind. Things are broken. Please tell us about things that are broken in Discord and stuff like that. If you get access, you do not have to suffer alone. You don't have to suffer in your friends group chat. You can let us know if things are broken. We'll try to fix it. But yeah, we don't have any cheat. Like everything's. Oh, that's actually not true. The game is not only available in English anymore. Thank you, translators, for translating. We do have some languages nearing or at 100% now, which is awesome, fucking amazing. And so just yeah, every update that we do, we just pull down more and more of those. So more and more languages will be fleshed out over time, and it'll be awesome. It'll look a little jank on some of the unsupported languages, but that's, is what it is. Hopefully it promotes people to come and help out with translating. Cool. Sorry about that. So, yeah, if you hit the button, which you have to hit, you can't like click out of it. Yeah, you understand. We're in playtest. Anyway, just want to get that off my chest. We've had a couple people be like, my PBs aren't gonna last. Yeah, that's literally the first thing you see when you boot up the game. Wait, sorry, the first thing you see is actually technically the crash report pop up, which please enable that. It helps a lot. We've fixed a lot of crashes by doing that, by that. Cool, but welcome to the main menu of Momentum Mod. It's pretty cool. We're over on Panorama, which is CSGO's or Source 2's CS2's UI framework. We were able to get that from our license with Valve. Pretty cool. We can do some really cool things. Light mode, dark mode. We have a lot of work still to do, but it's an amazing UI framework over VGUI, which is what we were on way before. Shout out to anyone who remembers what that looks like. I kind of forgot how it looks like. But anyway, it's pretty cool. Our main menu is going to be destination for just kind of information about the game, right? We have game updates here. We'll have events and things, and it's not only going to be game updates here. It'll be more, more official news as we get more and more things done and announced and things like that. But right now it is our changelog, so you can see that. We will have other things, maybe like current like new maps that have dropped, maybe like right below this, and then like maybe dailies, challenges and stuff that you can do, things to do, right? Here's our socials, right? You can go and check us out. We might remove our Twitter. We don't use it, but whatever. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, so I'll start with I guess the usual, right? So every time I talk about this, we were talking about this extensively this time. Multiplayer is a layer on top of the game. You do not have to join a server in order to play the game. It is completely single player if you want it to be. You do have to be connected to the internet to submit runs for us to validate you. However, you do not need to play with anyone if you don't want to. However, if you do want to, browsing and hosting lobbies is as easy as just coming to this drawer panel, basically. So all of the lobby stuff is here. You can create a lobby in like 3 clicks, right? Open the drawer, open the create lobby thing, and then yeah, you just create it there. It's pretty cool. But I'm just gonna go ahead and join Natan's lobby here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You can chat with gamers in the lobby from the menu if you want to. It's pretty cool. And yeah, it's nice because it only took like 1 click to join in, and you can see people are playing on whatever map they want while in the lobby. You don't actually necessarily have to be on the same map in order to be networked with each other. So it's pretty cool. We'll get into how it'll work when we get into the same map as other people. You'll see how like spectating and everything works. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You just kind of get to choose what you want to do while playing with the friends in your lobby or random people in this case, right? In your lobby. We're all friends here, but the other tabs aren't really as complete. This will be your profile tab. Just shows off kind of like your ranks and stuff in all of the modes and everything, your total cosmetic XP, your total units and things. You get a miniature version of this up here, which will show up in your player tab in game on the leaderboards and stuff like that. I guess I can explain the level system. So we have 2 systems. We have the cosmetic kind of XP units system that you just play the game, right? And you get this XP. It's how much you've played Momentum, and doing challenges and things like that, right? Just playing Momentum, you get this units currency that's used on the store. We don't have a store yet, but we will, and it'll only be those units, so you only earn it through playing the game, playing in game. And then we'll have probably like a challenge list and stuff like that too, so you can see all of your challenges. We have our credits and stuff. It's kind of outdated. Some of these people have stepped down, so we just gotta update it. It'll be a more dynamic thing in the future. We'll be using we have a Google spreadsheet that we just have all of this info on. So yeah, that's the side panel here. We'll have notifications and stuff too in the future. You'll be able to see like, you know, like when your mapper, your favorite mapper releases a new map and stuff like that. You'll get notifications on that. We can do things like whenever your rival or your friends beat your PB or something like that too. We'll see what kind of information people want to really see in notifications, and then expose that on our website, which will be an extension of the game client. You can't really have fun in Momentum without playing a map, so that leads us to the main UI here, the map selector. This is going to be undergoing a huge makeover in the sense of like adding, I guess, like submodes and stuff down the line. So all of these filters are pretty much going to be redesigned and cleaned up a lot. Probably make a couple new UI components and stuff. So like when you click on like maybe defrag, you can choose VQ3 CPM. Like clicking on it opens almost like a drop down or something. So we'll see how that's going to look down the line. But this will be your one-stop shop to play everything, right? Every game mode, everywhere. Like it's awesome. Just being able to just kind of be like, oh, like, yeah, let's try this map out, right? And then being able to one-click download. Oh, let me get a map that I actually don't have. Hold on. Yeah, one-click download, and now I can play Bhop Frigpigs. So yeah, it's really awesome to just have everything centralized here. You know, you can filter by things like whether or not you've completed them, whether or not you've favorited them, whether or not you've downloaded them, right? So all the maps you have locally, things like that, right? Things that you don't have locally. We really want to be able to make it so easy to just find the things you want to play in one place. So it'll be really fun to really iterate on this. And yeah, this, you can kind of see a preview of the map. We have a main thumbnail. We're gonna actually have a gallery eventually, so you can see more thumbnail or more like pictures throughout the map if you want to just see how it looks before you go in. But yeah, pretty cool. Wait, is this map? Oh, it's busted. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, so some maps break. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, what is up with that? I wonder what happened there. CDN didn't cache it, maybe? Anyway, we'll have stats and stuff too, so you can see things like how many favorites and stuff. You'll be able to sort by like number of favorites and things like that, number of completions, so you can see like top played maps and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's pretty powerful. You can filter by specific tier ranges, right? So if you only want tier 3, or if you want all of the tiers, you don't mind, right? You can do that. And then eventually we will also have playlists, so you can collect a ton of maps and just kind of queue them up in order to play just maps that you want to, just arbitrary maps that you want to play. You can save the playlists and just play them down later. This is our answer to the gauntlet kind of style playing that you can do, where you just play a bunch of hard or progressively harder, right? Tier 1 to 6 maybe maps. So yeah, cool. All right. So yeah, let's see what are recent defrag maps. Nice. Very cool. It's a tier 2 bunny hop map. Smoothly slide for speed to save substantial seconds on the sequential stages by skillfully surfing the starts of all 3 segments. Okay, let's try it out. So anyway, yeah, one click to just get in there. We load the map. We're going to try to improve map loading and stuff in the future with like asynchronous loading, so it doesn't look like the game's fucking stuttering every time you load a map. But yeah, so now we're in game. There's a couple of things I should note. First of all, players that join on the same map as me will show up, right? They show up in the same like space. So that's how we do networking, right? We network people as they... Are they conking it? Okay, yeah, they're conking this map. That's the other aspect of our multiplayer. Because we're not synchronized, players can play whatever game mode they want on whatever map they want. I mean, you can already do that too. I just chose to play the default, right, bunny hop on this. But you can play things like Conq, defrag, ahop, right, on these maps, assuming, I guess you can, right? Like, assuming the map layout is good. But yeah, so I've never played this map before. Where do I go? What? Okay. I don't know if I can do this. This is tier 2 though. So let's see if I can get this. But yeah, and you still have in-game chat and everything, right? You can still, yeah, no, it shows up in the bottom left. You you know, we're constantly working on improving how like the UIs and everything look. Oh, okay, we got it. What the fuck? This is awesome. Wait, okay, so that's slide. That's good to know. That's good to know. Fuck. Okay, so wait. We go. It looks like we're gonna have to go all the way up there? Question mark. Yeah, it looks like all the way up there. I can do that. But yeah, I'll play this, and then I don't usually play a lot of bunny hop or surf for that matter. So we'll play quite a couple of maps. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Looks like someone's already playing some sticky jump. That's good. That's good. But yeah, so you can see in the middle of the screen is a lot of synchronization HUD. This is just telling you basically how good of a bunny hopper you are. It's how synchronized your like mouse movements are with your strafes. Like, oh, wait, I can't. Okay, I gotta come over here for that. Okay. All right. I don't have the knowledge on how to do this map. Oh man. I'll try my best though. I mean, I've done a lot of bunny hop. Trust me, I've done a lot of bunny hop. I have a new wireless mouse too, and it's actually pretty good for this. The wide like angles I have to take for this. But yeah. Okay, so I had to go over here anyway, so I'll just do that. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. I'm not restarting. I'll continue. But yeah, what mouse do I have? I ended up going with the G502X. They have the main draw to it that was really intriguing because I know light speed's really cool. But the main draw that I had was the like hybrid mechanical switches that they have, because I had a 703. And the 703 started double clicking within like 6 months of like using it. It was terrible. And so like I was really upset because otherwise it was a great mouse. Like it did not have any problems for me. It just started, yeah, the left click I guess clicked too hard or something. I don't know what I did, but yeah. So yeah, and then I saw that they made these like hybrid switches, so I guess that's their answer to it, and it's really cool because it's like it's optical for like actually actuating it or like triggering it, and then it's mechanical just for sound and like feel. So fuck, I missed. That's happened with every Logitech. Surprisingly, the MX518 OG and then the remake they made with the Hero sensor and stuff are really good. Like they've been solid. They have not started double clicking after like years of using them. It was just that 703 that I had. But the 502, similar kind of shape. Because I think I also tried the G500 a while ago. Wasn't my favorite mouse. I like the MX518 more.
The G Pro is pretty good.
G Pro, yeah, the remake.
The wireless one.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Is that the one you got, or is
yeah,
nice.
That's what I have. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm just in like magnesium mouse waiting rooms.
Oh, is that a brand, or what is magnesium mouse? Oh fuck.
They like don't exist except for like 5 seconds where you get the pre-order one for like $300.
What? Why are they so coveted? What's their tag? Is it
they
just
be
like...
light as fuck.
Oh wow.
It's like final mouse shit.
Okay.
I like light mice.
Gotcha. Yeah, I see that's kind of the trend nowadays, is a lot of mice are just going really light. Which is interesting, right? Like it's because you would think you would want it heavy to like really really get, oh, that's a boost. Okay, good to know. To really get traction. But
or like you can have like a very slow sense and have like very accurate kind of stuff like that, but it's just like bossing the mouse around.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the 502, the one that I just got, it almost feels cheap how light it is. It's crazy compared to even just the MX518 that's wired. I don't know, maybe the wire does weigh it down, but yeah. But yeah, no, And then my girlfriend got me into mechanical keyboards a little bit. So I got a new keyboard because my Corsair K70 did not die, but it's been starting to get a little weird where Windows is like not recognizing it after waking up from sleep. I've had that happen a couple times now. It's kind of bizarre. Like my wired mouse connected through it worked, but the keyboard didn't. It was very bizarre. But the
Weird.
Yeah, but anyway, ended up going with a 96%. It's like it's almost everything. Hold on, let me show it off.
Yeah, those 85s and 95, they're like really good.
Yeah, right? Here, let me. Oh, okay.
You get all the programming keys.
Show it off. Right? Yeah, I get all the programming like hotkeys, but yeah, I got the orange.
But it's not like a
with
giant thing.
some gray, accent, and then the portal keycaps is so cool. I don't
Wow.
know. Oh, I guess I could show it off a little more, like in like full screen or something. But yeah, no, it's really cool. And I have like silent brown switches is what I went for because I wanted tactile, but I don't want the click anymore, right? Like the clicks.
I didn't know they made silent browns.
It's cool, right? I didn't know either, and I was like, holy shit! I thought browns were already silent, but no, they're pretty much as loud as like blues are. But no, these are really nice. And yeah, I'm loving the keyboard. It's been really nice feeling like the tactile like response, but not having that annoying ass like click, click, click like every single time. Where do I go?
Oh my
Over
God.
there, probably?
I remember your clicks.
Oh man, they were legendary on my streams. Yeah. It's so like you probably don't even hear my keyboard now. It's that quiet. And then yeah, just like typing on this thing. Oops, stage 2. Let's go. Oh
yeah, the browns feel so good.
I'm a very big fan.
My favorite.
Wait, where am I going? What? Oh, so that gives you like a shortcut if you go higher up. Gotcha. Okay. Very cool.
Watching this map on streams fucking with my head.
What was that?
Map looks really confusing.
Oh yeah. I'm figuring it out slowly, but I'm getting it. Oh, okay. There we go. No, I suck. All right, whatever. How do I? I'm gonna have to do it the slow way now. There's no teleport back. That's fine. I can do it. I can slowly climb. This is the climb mode, by the way. It's just this map. Oh no. Okay, need more speed than that. Can I? Hold on. I can't. I'm not gonna be able. I need to like 128 that. But yeah. Yeah, K70. I mean, don't get me wrong. The K70 when I was using it, very good keyboard. I liked it. It wasn't modular, which is surprising, but that's I guess how they keep it relatively cheap. Because we were hoping it was modular so that I could just swap the keycaps and switches out for the silent browns, but nope, soldered. So sucks, but oh, did I make it nice? Okay. Okay. All right. Let's go to a different map. There's more game modes than Bunny Hop. I will beat this map eventually. I'll do some surf. I don't think I've done Surf Tropic. Let's do that. We have safeguards, as you may have seen that little pop-up. We want to make sure that you mean to leave the map, to cancel your current run that you're going on. Right now, it's very simple, but we will have more features down the line where we're looking at things like, how far you're into the run. Are you on over halfway done with the map or like stages or something like that? So, yeah. A lot of great feedback we get from players, right, on how to do these things. So definitely, if you feel like a system isn't really as fleshed out, feel free to leave us some feedback. Because yeah, it's important. Oh, okay, gotta land. Left or right? Neither. Just kidding. Wait, what? Where do I go? I go. Oh, okay. I guess I go left or right. See how to do it.
What is the big flashy bar?
The big flashy bar is, in the middle of the screen is the synchronizer. So that was, for Bunny Hop, it's useful because you regularly are strafing left and right. And it shows you just how in sync you are. For Surf, it's helpful in the beginning stage, right? Oh, did I make it? Yeah, baby, let's go. And so it's helpful for like knowing, are you pre-strafing the ramp, right? To kind of strafe jump onto the ramp. Are you doing it properly, right? Oh, what? Left? Huh? Wait, left? I guess I didn't have enough speed. So it's not helpful once you've done your initial jump, right? Like it's kind of useless. Okay, do I go, where do I, huh? Do I go, so left, where am I going? Where's the end? I hear somebody shooting in the fire. This is a really cool design map. I love kind of like low poly stuff. It's very, very awesome. Do I go left and up? I see a ramp right there. That might be relevant. I could always watch the replay if I don't know, so I'll show that off too in a sec. Yeah, there's like that up there. Okay, maybe I go up there? I'm not sure. Maybe I go on the hot air balloon? Or maybe, oh, I think I see. Maybe I go...
Where did everybody go?
What? Oh.
Tom went to bed.
Yeah, Tom went to bed.
I went to AFK for a bit.
And by went to bed, meaning they got off and then just like wrote something stupid in the chat.
Okay, what? Okay, so I don't go there. Do I curve back around and go on? You know what? Let's find out what we do. I'm gonna watch frowny faces run. Why not? Eventually, I guess I could talk about replays. So every run you do, every run you submit has a replay. Replays are cool because, for one, they're not exactly like demos. You can kind of jump around the places and things that you've already seen. We will have more stuff on here. Things like stages, you know, when stages are entered and stuff. We can have things like right-clicking the run and being like start from current stage. So you can just see how somebody did your current stage that you're on. We'll have a lot more convenience features, but let's see. Wait, no, this isn't. Did that. Left or right, did that. Okay, how do we do it? What? 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 Okay. All right. Whatever, man. I'll do it too. Hey, money up. That's funny. A little bit of a cheese. I guess there's a broken trigger or just something that wasn't tested properly, but that's fine. All right. How do we do it? 180. So that. Oh, I see. And then, wait, does that boost me this way? Oh, it does? Sort of? No? Okay. Well designed. It's, I guess, it was just probably a slight oversight. Stuff like map testing, right, should catch that. We're hoping, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. And then down.
Emergent gameplay.
Not up. What? Why did... Okay. Okay. Down. And up. Okay. And then do I land... Okay, I don't go there. But I have to go up? Okay. 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 I can do it. I believe. I believe in my own ability. Do I land on the ramp? I don't... Okay, so I don't go back on the ramp. I'm hitting something. Okay. So it's 180. Uh-huh. Do I bounce off the... bounce off the burbs? I gotta go up there, but like hitting that and then coming back here teleported me back, so I don't understand what I'm missing. Do I have to go... So it's 180 back onto this, then back and then up. I think maybe there's a filter trigger, and if you just hit that, it won't... Oh, I almost restarted. Thank God I had a safeguard. I promise I'm not bad. I just haven't done these maps before.
I'm just European.
The
Sorry.
No, you're all good. Oh man, that is a hard fucking jump. Let's see. Is this tier 2? I'm bad if I can't do this. Okay. Easy. Alright, we in there. Tier 2 server. Alright. Where am I going? Where am I going? Oh no, okay, can't jump twice on it. That's fair, that's fair. Okay, can't jump on it at all anymore. Alright, so we're going down here, and then probably over. Yep, down there, and then left or right, looks like. Okay. Just getting a rough idea of where to go here. Go around. Okay, can't jump there, that's fine. Okay. Okay, I don't know if I'm supposed to go that high, but that should work. Maybe? No! Okay. Fuck. Okay, maybe I don't go that high. I don't know. Shit. Shit. I'm close. I'm sliding off the ramps. I'm doing a very basic mistake. There we go. No, that might not be good. You gotta ride
You
that
have
ramp.
sideways?
No. I'm not good at off styles. Or not off styles, sorry. Different styles. Okay, I flicked a little. Fuck! Okay. So maybe I need more speed? Just more smooth? That's too low. Oh. Oh! What? Okay, so it's only on jump that it happens. Boing. That's cool. No. Yeah, I guess these modes, level design for these modes is very interesting. So wait, do I have to? I guess I have to go around, huh? But yeah, you're basically designing a level that's meant to be speedrun, but like you don't really know what route people are going to take, I guess, until you start seeing them. God damn, how do I get enough speed for that? Oh, get it. Wait, you can strafe back around? Wait, really? I thought you could only jump once. Wait, yeah, it's like teleporting me back twice. Yeah, so you can't like, can't cheese it. It's probably gonna, okay, it didn't. Okay, yeah, I don't, so strafe back around and get another bounce on the thing. Wait, like this? I have to come back here? I guess I could watch the replay again. I'm also going pretty low on that second ramp there. That looked better. You haven't played this? Oh, that's fair, that's fair. Same. Same. I think, yeah, I think it was just because I was going too low on that second ramp. I think I need to flick a little more than that, but yeah, that's it. I just have to flick up a little bit more for that. Definitely the most precise tier 2 I've ever played. This feels way harder than tier 2. Fuck. Go over? I mean, the arrows pointing to the sides make it seem like I can't, but I'll try that. I'll give it a go. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe you can. I just didn't have the right speed. Let's see. Are the arrows a giant troll? No, it's just barely too much, I think. I don't know. I'm not the smoothest surfer. I've done surf. I'm probably a tier 3 surfer. Like, I'm not really that good. I've beaten Omnific once. Fuck! That was so close. This is not tier 2, though. This is, I would say this is probably upwards of tier 3 or 4. But, let's see. That looks good. That feels good. It was not good. Damn. I mean, I could gain more speed. I could pre-hop it and kind of cheese it. I don't know what kind of boost that start is. Wow, that's a hard one. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Do a little bit of a cheese hop, I guess. Yeah, because I guess it just adds to it. So this is definitely gonna make it. Unfortunate. Maps really shouldn't rely on that, but whatever, I'll take it. Where do I go? Oh, around. Okay, around and back. Omnifix tier 6, yeah, but it's... I don't know. I also was like grinding it. It's on my my personal Twitch account. Or no, it might not be actually. That shit was after Half-Life 2 runs. Let's see. Did I make it? I make it? No! I need a little more speed. Unfortunate. Okay. Maybe this boost isn't as powerful. I mean, if you have to pre-hop it, then yeah, it just needs to be a little more powerful. For this to at least be a convincing tier 2. It's a good map though. I really like the design. Okay, stage 7. Let's see. How do we do it? Do I need to pre-hop that? Oh, okay, I missed. Oops. All right, let's see if we can beat it. Will Gognak ever beat? Oh. Okay, there's a ring. I guess I go through that ring. I think I've seen the run of this a while ago. I have a rough idea of what I need to do. Very precise surf. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right.
This map is a bit awkward.
It's very precise. It's interesting, but yeah. I don't know if I have enough speed for this. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess I'll get a little more here. Since that
I think you have to go around back off of that jump, but I can't remember.
Oh, really? Huh. I wasn't seeing any boosters or anything. That might have been another stage. That might have been the stage I just cheesed. Fuck. The most difficult part there. Okay. Ah, fuck. Unless they're not talking about me. They aren't specking me, so I don't think they're talking about me. Okay. Nope. I keep sliding. Keep sliding. We also have paint, if you notice that pink interrobang. Yeah, I can't make that.
It's like a record number of times you said interrobang in one sitting.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that what it is? The exclamation mark, question mark? I might be mistaken.
I have no idea.
All right, let's look it up on new overlay. It's gonna crash my fucking game. Interrobang is the non-standard punctuation mark. Yeah, it's the combined. It's the combined exclamation mark, question mark. A sentence ending with an interrobang asks a question in an excited manner. Yeah, non-standard punctuation mark indicated a question expressed in an exclamatory manner. Interesting. Okay, I see. I'm not trying to restart. Okay. Is that... But hold on, let's check out. Where do we go? Because there's that. Oh, there. Huh. I guess it's like triggered off. You can't just like scoop back up and go to the end. Okay. Let's give this a shot. A couple more tries. We'll try a different map. What time? Oh, we're making good time. We have like 8-ish minutes left. Oh, man. Oh, did I make it? Okay. Oh, okay. Nope, did not make it. So wait, what? So then, what? That ramp's not designed to do that move. To like swoop up. I'm so technical with my terms.
Swoop up ramp.
Swoop up ramp? Wireless mouse is absolutely carrying it here, though. I'm able to like move it into places that like or like contort it too. Like I'm rotating it. Oh.
You must do like a 360 for a flick.
Yeah, pretty much. Feels like it. Oh, that was smooth. That was smooth. I don't have a lot of speed here though. Or do I? Got him. Oh wait, that's not enough speed. No. Oh. That's definitely it though. Yeah, let me get one of those conks real quick. I can beat this map. I surfed that like fucking mint. All right, here we go. Here we go. Nice. And then up. Nice. And then I don't have enough room on that ramp. I guess you could go lower and flick back up and like twirl around. I'll try that. That might work better. It's just this ramp is very odd for doing that. Yeah, like down here to up here to up here to easy X. All right. And I'm in mapping mode, so none of this matters, but I just wanted to complete it for me. Anyway, all right, one more map. You get to decide, Bray. Which one?
Conq, please play Conq.
All right.
I don't know any Conq map. I'm sorry.
That's a good one. Legend? Have I done Legend? What tick rate is momentum mod surfing? 66.66666 repeating, of course. Have I done Conq EU? I don't know. I'm not good at juggle. Could do Conq speed too, but I can't fuck up station ID. Separate leaderboards for 85, probably. It gets a little weird. We might do 100 tick, but realistically, we want all of the competition to be centralized. That also dictates how maps are going to be created. If you centralize everyone to one tick rate, it at least enforces that the map is created with enough like spacing and everything for that tick rate. Because a higher tick rate is easier because you gain more speed because there's more airspeed calculations happening per second. So, so maps are easier in higher tick rates, but at the same time would be, yeah, like if we have 3 or 4 or whatever tick rates, then people are just probably going to be, you know, like just unsure of what to compete on. Have I done Conkies? Let's just do INF. INF's a classic. Am I good at rocket jumping? Oh, am I? If I beat this map quick enough, I'll go and do some RJ.
God, please no. The worst game mode.
Oh shit, I didn't throw it. That's fine. My bad. Oh fuck! I forgot about the corner.
Sorry, Rellart.
I'll do a drop Conq here. So this is Conq. You have a set timer for your Conq grenade. It has an interesting property of the further away you are, the more it boosts you. But yeah, you can do some very cool things with it. Oh, I meant to cancel my handheld. That was my bad. Right-clicking fizzles all of the Conqs that you have out, including ones in your hand. So use it carefully. Oh no! Oh no! I hit the ceiling. Handhelds, if you hold a conch, will boost you in the direction you are going. Your velocity, your current velocity, not where you're looking or anything. It's where you're going, and that can throw a lot of people off. So. I might be a little cracked at this map, but yeah, it's fun. It's a very fun mode. Fuck, I didn't have enough. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? We could have with momentum even being a new like start, right? Technically, we could have made like 100 or something tick be the default, but for the most part, a lot of people are used to the lower tick rates. So it's hard to just kind of assume that that would be the best.
66 standard.
Yeah, like it's and other mode. Oh wait, whoops. Other modes also just kind of other modes basically do 66 already. So like having kind of that more like the only non-66 I think are like defrag, KZ, Bhop. I think trick surf as well. But that's a sub mode technically.
So I've Left 4 Dead hop 30 tick. Death.
Fuck. Not doing that right. Nope, throwing it too early. There we go. That's the delay. It's the first hop. There we go. Easy triple. And there you go. Conq neft. I suck compared to my PB. It's okay.
Good question. What tick is Titanfall on?
Titanfall, I think, is like 20. Their server like actually updates like NPCs at 20. But I think the game and movement and stuff is 144 or like matches your frame rate. I remember there's a whole thing about it. Let's do a shorter.
Online, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a dev that talked about like how their like tick updates and stuff worked. Which RJ map should I do? Beef's a classic. Summer's also a classic. Elephant's also a classic. I'm gonna do Summer though. Summer I'm pretty good at.
There's no elephants on Elephant.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to play it.
2 out of 10. 5 tick. I mean, you can play momentum on 1,000 tick.
Yeah.
Or 10,000 tick.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking wild. But yeah. I think Plar has some like 1,000 tick passes.
FPS God, I think, as well.
Yeah. Fucking crazy.
I keep going too high. Need to get better with like horizontal movement. Ugh. Shit. I was not ready for that. I can do it like this though. No! Fuck! Yeah, physics works separately. Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Oops. Am I okay at rocket jump, chat? As I'm like fucking speed shotting my way through like a tier 1. Anyway. I again am making this game to play all these modes, so I play a little bit of all of them. I'm going to be a momentum man, as in I will be a gamer for all of these modes. Ooh, ooh, okay, no, it's not good.
Well said.
Yeah. I am probably best, I think, at ahop, but even then, there's people that are crazy good. Ninja Cookie, for example. I think even some bunny hoppers like Joe's Fat was getting into ahop a little bit. So really excited to see new maps coming out.
Cyber athlete.
That's very good. Unfortunately, this is the last map we're going to be playing for today. I did some defrag in the last one. We're going to see how that looks. We'll play defrag next time, don't worry. Oh, shit. Damn it. Not low enough. Yeah. There we go.
It's got a prime ad with a guy dabbing.
Nice.
Now I'm angry.
If you get prime, you can dab. That's basically what that ad is.
Fuck did I just what?
Fuck. Oh, that was cool. Could have used that. Damn it. My wall shots need a little bit of work, but I'm getting there. Nope. Damn it. Need to aim further. Yeah, further up. There we go. All right. Watching a replay, however, in Rocket Jump doesn't look that great right now. We do not have projectiles networked yet, but we will. Oh God, I did not anticipate that. I should have shot one more, I think. Whee. But I'm a big fan of every single mode. I don't have a favorite. Cough cough. But
you don't have a favorite. Come on.
I love all my children equally. No, they're not my children.
Do you at least have a least favorite?
The one I'm worst at is defrag. I just need to learn how to actually defrag. But though, I think once I get that down, like I think my bunny hop brain or whatever is just like trying to be like, no, you don't hold W anymore, or something. Ah, fuck. This podium's fucking me right now. Damn. Okay, hold on. Nope. What? I'm going very high up. It's very weird. King of the hill. Oh, there we go. Oh, all right, there we go. I don't think I'm cool enough to do this shortcut, but I'll try. Oh, wait, maybe? I need more horizontal. Whatever, that worked. No, I wasn't even close to it. Whoops. KZ's least favorite? Nah, I've never really done KZ. I've done climb or just like casual KZ. Fuck. Okay, I need to look at my rockets more. For the most part, if you're talking about or like referencing the fact that KZ is not until after 1.0, that's just a matter of dev effort. We definitely want to support a KZ mode that like everyone's going to enjoy, but a lot of it is just finding out what works. Fuck off. That was so close. Whatever. Okay. Oh wait, shit! I could have done the cheese ending there, or I guess the intended, maybe. I'm not close enough to the walls there. Trick surf, I haven't really done it. I'm okay at surf, so I'm looking forward to trying out trick surf once we get full support for it and some tricks and maps added and tricks added for them. Yeah, again, I'm like a lot of like the game I'm just genuinely looking forward to just playing. Like casually getting good at different things and then like there we go, easy. Oh, 12-second improvement. On my local PB, but probably not my actual PB. But okay. That's it. That's all we got time for. 3 hours, that's usually where we cut off. And that is exactly why Momentum Mod exists, Conq. Momentum is entirely made by volunteers, though. It's not just me. That's why I started it. I'm grateful for the team doing amazing work that I hopefully get to show off a little bit here. We'll be doing more show-offy stuff as we get closer to 010 because there's a lot of good stuff that's coming in. And a lot of stuff that should probably be explained for our new zones and stuff. So that we're all on the same page when they drop. Yeah, but that's gonna be it. Is there anyone, I guess, streaming Momentum? Doesn't look like it. Crap. Okay, that's all right. Is there anyone that we should... Any way that you can contribute financially? Yes, we actually have an open collective. There's but that doesn't get you a key. That's just donating. If you mean like you just want to donate because you enjoy it. Shit. Hold on. Gotta find someone to raid first. I don't really have anyone to raid. Well, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't find anyone either.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, whatever. Sorry, guys. Yeah, no, I don't have anyone either. Okay. Well, go watch whoever you want. Your raid message for them is please play Momentum Mod. No,
there's TF2 land going on.
Yeah, I guess we can host it.
I don't think it is it being streamed? I don't even know.
It's being streamed by Banny.
Oh, okay. Do not do that then.
Is Banny just evil?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a cat stream. Yeah, is there an animal stream?
Oh, cat stream?
I would have rated the 24/7 Seinfeld AI thing, but that thing's dead. Died 20 viewers.
Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah. I fucking burnt the fucking casserole. Okay. Well, that's it, I guess. Thank you all for watching. That's it. Okay, we'll catch you next time. Tom will likely stream some development streams. I'll try to pop in for those, but yeah. All right. Take care, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to join our Discord if you haven't already. And yeah, catch you all on the next one. Thank you all for watching.